Listen, listen, listen. Welcome to my night tour rams where I will ramble on for approximately 3 hours as I have no topic today because New York Toy Fair. And there was a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff. And I know this because I sat in this chair, way too much this weekend. This was a hell of in some weekends, you spend more time doing a show um than others, and this was one of those weekends, but not only doing this but doing all the reviews that came, or all the doing all the reviews, all the stuff that I got in, and it seemed like everything decided to come in for for this month in 1 week. And as much as it's fun, I was actually looking forward to the new Joes, like getting three later on in the month from Amazon. But Sergeant Rez got them all in. So I went there and got them all and did what I do, which is create content. So anyway, hope everyone had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Again, thank you guys all for tuning in, giving me some of your time. Hopefully, I'm able to brighten up your Monday. I know Monday's always kind of dragging for many people. You're looking at the whole week trying to get through it, but we're already through one day. Only 4 more days to go. If you work a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. If you don't, then maybe you're stuck working on the weekends. And I apologize for rubbing it in your face that we only have 4 more days. But then again, hey, maybe you're off tomorrow and Wednesday, and you can say screw you. Tony's Figs is off tomorrow, so he can do Circle of Jerks, which is such a good show. What makes that show so damn good? This guy. Anyway, for me, I didn't do anything. It was still pretty cold. It was starting to warm up, but still cold. So it wasn't that bad to sit inside and just try and get some stuff done. But there was just so much to get to. But I will be excited when it's all done. We see some new stuff, so we know that as much as some content creators have said for the past few years that the G.I. Joe Classified line is dead, that people have stopped, it sure looks like Hasbro and the G.I. Joe team beg to differ because they are pumping out figures. And again, they're not the only people. So I have 3 different slides of figures and toys to go over. And again, I don't even touch on like Turtles, Transformers, stuff like that. So there are other places to go if you're into that. So anyway, let's just get into it. 39 people watching right now. So please, if you haven't, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. There's always some stragglers that don't realize that they're not subscribed because the channel keeps popping up because they're like, hey, you know what? You like watching this, but you forgot to subscribe. So please go ahead and do that if you haven't yet. So let's say hi to the chat. And first off, we got Clint Jorgensen jumping in saying 2 likes, 1 person in the chat. That is a good ratio. I would agree there. We have Gouch Joe 82. I think I said that right. 5th like, we have GI Bro, who has the best guns in the community. Sean Forrester, who does the best Transformers G.I. Joe custom crossovers or mashups. I guess they're not crossovers, mashups that I have seen. So good and a lot of fun. We got Cooking with Eric, and then we have Evil Dookie, who has become a new member. So you know what you get right there. Maybe if I can actually find it.
Welcome to the Creamery.
Everyone else has these big, these big extravaganza little video clips and everything. I hope I don't disappoint you all when all I have is my daughter who gives you welcome to the Creamery. And also, if you don't like the Creamery, you can go blame Alice and Troy, and then she will send you a glitter bomb, which you really don't want. We have Beardy McBearderson jumping in saying, hey, Lawrence and chat, how's everything going? How's everything doing? A wild week for Joe collectors, dinosaurs. I mean, I did confirm that I did confirm something else too that I was wrong about. But hey, it's okay to be wrong. Like I said, I'm not a news breaking channel. But I did tell you that that's something that I was told about, and it seemed kind of odd, but Lenny explained it pretty well. SDS Dog is here. We got Slime Bone LSWC, Evil Dookie once again. Let's see. We already said Gouch Joe. I think I said it right. I don't know. Matthew would tell me if I'm wrong. We have Snow Wolf jumping in. Commander Wolf. Really? We have Snow Wolf and a Commander Wolf. Steve Chom or Ted Knight. We got Matthew Matson, one moderator jumping in. We got Nolan, which makes us ToyTube official. We got Tim Brower here. We have Menhoza, who I want to say that I just happened to turn on Zakanin and noticed he was calling him Menhoza too. So clearly, when I started, and don't let anyone tell you that I was not the one that started the Menhoza thing. If anyone else tells you it, they are fucking liars. And I don't know if Zucchini did. I'm not saying he did. But if anyone else tells you that on a different channel, they are full of shit. I'm just calling it right now. Cooter's Garage is here. We have my other moderator, Action Figs Ed, who has been missing from many of the chats, but that's because his daughter, who serves in the Air Force, thank you very much, was in town for him, and she was deploying, so he wasn't going to be able to see her for like 9 months. So you know what? Safe travels to her, and seriously, thank you for all that she does and all the people that have served this wonderful country. And I don't care what anyone says; it's still a fucking great country. Still the best country in the world. Anyway, I don't know why I went there. I did. David R here, Alex Martinez, MCR Maza. We got Viper Scout, who was in Punk's Pit. So thank you to all the people that jumped on Punk's Pit. It was a very small group of people jumping on. We had Matthew on. We had Ed on. We had Viper Scout, Krusty Old Crow. Hi, Ken. Ken showed up for a short bit. Hold on. Where is he at?
Acknowledge me.
I'm acknowledging that Ken was there, but then he was just gone. There was a couple others, and I apologize to the people I can't remember. But there wasn't as many people in. Let's just say that. Kel Shave or Callister here. There is Krusty Old Crow right now. Is there anyone else? Anyone else? Oh, it is Gojo. It's a Louisiana thing. Now that should be easy for me to remember, but Matthew can probably tell you I won't really. I really won't. Yeah, I probably won't. We got Allison Troy saying you really don't, and she's talking about the glitter bomb. 610 Yojo Daddy saying, what's up, Lawrence? What's up, fellas? Y'all smash that like button and subscribe. There is somebody that thinks that you are an It's Chad tool. He thinks that you run that Chad and you tell him everything. Hey, I'm just gonna say, in our Circle of Jerks chat, somebody posted a comment in someone else's live stream. And again, what live stream were you in this weekend? You can figure that out and go to it. It was weird. But everything that guy posts is fucking weird and makes no sense and is absolutely clueless. Jay Astro has jumped in here. We got Gatey's Toys, who we haven't seen in a while. I had him on Thursday with a friend a while back. Go check it out. This guy's hilarious. He's a lot of fun too. We got Chattanooga Ed jumping in here. Let's see here. Viper Scout saying, ha, I called Sundown when everyone was shouting Brave Star and Care Bears, even if I called him Sundowner. Well, no, you win some, you lose some. Again, I don't consider myself a news-breaking channel. And again, I know you're not criticizing me at all. I don't consider myself a news-breaking channel, so I'm not going to lose any sleep over getting that one wrong. And we will talk about that later on. I promise you. I'm not like some channels that will act like I didn't say something that I did and go delete it. Oh, those are my favorite people. They just delete stuff and act like they never said it. Boba Fett is jumping in here. Let's see here. I know there's a few more. There is the Mr. Wonderful saying, Punk people, go check them out. They were on last night. A matter of fact, I don't have it up. I don't have the link to it, but please, they do a shout out. And last night on over on Action Figs, the Toy Elite, they did a shout out, and it was for a donation to. I'm not even sure what the donation was for. It was for cancer. I know that his son is doing something. So please head on over there. Don't do it right now, but head on over there later. And a matter of fact, please drop a link to your show yesterday so people can click on it, save it, and watch it later and go donate. He's trying to raise $10,000. Unfortunately, when I scan the link, Travis, it doesn't give me what it's for. So I was a little confused with that. So please, Ed, post a link. It will be great. It will help out tremendously. Katie's story saying fun time guy is what all the bathroom stalls say about me. I actually don't doubt that. HK Viper is here. We have Soul Brother number 1. I haven't seen you in a while. Great to have you back. We got Rowdy Riles jumping back. We have 80s Joy saying, "Hey Punk, love your channel, dude. Thank you very much. I've seen you making a bunch of comments, and I appreciate what I guess I appreciate everyone that jumps in, has something to say, and here we are right there. So that is the link to their show yesterday. Please click it, save it. Don't go to it now because you got to scan through it. It's not too far into it. And Mr. Wonderful says, "You're the man, dude. Thank you." St. Baldrick's Children's Cancer Research Foundation. Again, it was a very. I couldn't. Again, I feel like there should have been more information, and I don't know if it was when I scanned it, just what it took me to. And that was, and I also forgot because I did all kinds of stuff, and I came home and worked out and actually went to sleep. But Ed put it in there, so go find it. It will help out. And if you even have a link to it, that would be great. And let's see. And we did see action figure sold separately. If you see a lot of the backgrounds, I always tag him in it. He usually will repost it. He's got some wonderful stuff. You can find it on his Etsy store. Please go check it out. It is not cheap because all that stuff it costs money. Time. He was on Thursday with a friend. We talked about it. So, all right. And then Gun Bunny Custom. I had so many of you on Thursday with a friend. Gun Bunny Custom. He was another one. So, all right. I went through everyone. 60 people watching. Please hit the like button and the subscribe if you have not yet. All right. As I mentioned, I didn't really do very much this weekend. I don't even think I went to Sergeant Red's. I actually decided to be an adult, and I've actually decided not to purchase some stuff like the new figure obscures or the next wave that's coming, the customer appreciation wave. I think it's just time to kind of back off some stuff. There was so much stuff coming. I know Ed and I have recently been talking about it. This stuff that Fresh Monkey Fiction or Big Bad Workshop is giving us. Obviously, for me, all the G.I. Joe stuff. We have, I have all the X-Men, all the Marvel stuff, Marvel Legends that I have really gotten into. And to be honest, like I need to back away from some of that stuff. Even for me, I tell you, like, hey, this channel has helped support this habit. And I always knew that there was a chance that we get to a point where you have to back away. And that's what I tell everyone. Don't try and keep up with the Joneses. If you get to the point where you feel that you can't afford something, don't continue to go on with it, man. Back off. It'll be there later, or it wasn't meant to be. It's that simple. So just be mindful. I know it sounds stupid for me to say this, I know it sounds stupid for me to say this, but it's very true. A lot of people, they don't. They're not paying attention. If you feel you can't afford something, then you probably can't. And there's no shame in it. There's no shame tuning into a channel that I do, Bobby B or whoever, and being like, well, if they can get it, I should be able to get it too. That's not the way this world works, nor should it. So um just be cautious of going too far down that rabbit hole. Gady's Toy says, so stoked for Big Bag Workshop's Cops Bulletproof Suit. That's like the only one that I'm not interested in. I have no interest at all in the Cops. Now, again, I might see it and be like, hey, you know what? I pretty much ordered not every other figure that they've done, but the 6-inch actual like characters. So we'll see. David T. Allen, who will be on Thursday with a friend at the end of the month. Woo! All right, 1 second. I have to make a little cough. All right. Evil Doogie said it's punk. It's not a habit. It's an addiction. It is, but like anything, you sometimes you have to back away from it, and you have to know your own limitations. And again, it sounds stupid. We're adults. I mean, I'm 50 years old. We all should know this, but I think most of us, I can't say all of us, I think most of us feel that we can push it and get a little bit more. And next thing we know, we've gone just a little too far over in the credit card, and now we're feeling the pinch. I've always said, hey, I worked a certain way to get to a certain point, and I wanted to see where the channel was able to take me. And again, I don't get free stuff. We actually discussed this a little bit on Circle of Jerks. I don't get free stuff. I get some free stuff, like some 3D printed stuff, but I don't get stuff from Hasbro, Savage Crucibles, Mythic Legions. Like, I don't get free stuff like that, and I'm not asking for it. So I want people to understand. I don't go out of my way. I don't reach out to these companies. It's nothing that I didn't ever want to build my channel off of that. I'm not saying that one day it might not happen, but I do feel that it does change the way people perceive you when you do your reviews, and that's half of what this channel was built off. The other channel was the live streams and creating the community that I feel like we've cultivated here. But once you start getting free product, I feel you need to say, hey, this was sent to me by whoever it is. It will skew how people perceive you do the review, whether it is or not. It skews it no matter what. So um, just be mindful of your pocketbooks and what you can spend compared to what you think you can. Same time, toys. Shane jumping in here. We got GI Jetman saying, "What's up, Punk and chat?" We got Ant Sketcher. A man got to know his limitations. Very true. But again, like I think we've all said, hey, you know what? I can do this. And next thing you know, 5 different things have come out. Um, and again, I've told people I'm in a different position because of what I've created. But unfortunately, a lot of the stuff with the Amazon affiliate links, dude, Amazon had shit. And I'm not just talking about toys, man. I'm talking about in general through November, like Black Friday into Christmas. Like they didn't have nothing. Um, they didn't have a lot of good deals, and unfortunately, that hurts, the channel and the income that comes in for me to purchase and do different reviews. So, Stu for lunch saying, "Hey, happy Monday. Here are some toy ramblings. Hi, Ken, and howdy to the chat." Yes, always say hi to Ken because you never know what might happen. Yeah, YouTube takes a huge cut, but at the same time, I don't try and survive off of super chats. There are a lot of other. I mean, I don't survive off super chats because I don't really get a lot of super chats, and I won't ask, and I don't beg, and I'm not one of those channels that is only going to read super chats. I'm not saying that's what you are saying either, but the super chats are the ones, yeah, they take a huge cut. With everything else, like, hey, they're actually giving you some money to monetize. So there is that. And I can tell you there's a lot of people in here that are doing reviews, doing YouTube. They never get to that, or they're working their way up. And it is definitely hard. No matter how you look at it. Viper Scott says you need to show harder for free shit. Yes, I do. We got Machine Man jumping in here. Never question your integrity, not once. And I'm very, very glad for that. Because I don't feel like I've ever given many people a reason to. A matter of fact, if anything, I feel like I put myself out there for reasons you shouldn't um, question my integrity, maybe too much. And I'm just saying how people start to perceive it if you're getting free stuff. And again, I've had other people that have gave me deals, different things like that. And they said, "Hey, we want your honest opinion." That is where, in all honesty, Delta 17. That was one of the things that Ken said they really wanted was an honest opinion, not just stuff like that. Cookie with Eric says $26 for Desert Scorpion was a deal. Yeah, I did pick one up this weekend because I needed a second one. Abbott Designs. Did I say that right? There's no R. It's Abbott. Actually, Albert T Designs. QR code no longer taking you to hell. It just takes you to the Hasbro page. It does not take you to those file cards if that's what you were looking for. And GI Jetman has gifted one Punk membership. So first off, we dropped the
Welcome to the Creamery.
And we'll go back and we'll look and we'll see that I'm sorry, 610 Yojo Daddy, you received it. So congratulations. Thank you to GI Jetman. Much appreciated. Ultra Mesh jumping in here. We got Russell Lemieux. And then we have 80s Joe's thing, became a YouTube member. So once again,
Welcome to the Creamery.
So thank you to everyone. I definitely appreciate it. I'm almost through everyone. I know I saw Steve Chomp, but I don't remember saying Steve Chomp. Ted Knight, Paul Morales is here. Tim Brower says I stick to my favorite Cobra Troopers and characters. You know what? That might be the best thing to do. Don't be like me if you can. You can avoid buying everything. It is hard. The Thanos copter. Check out his Instagram if you have a strong stomach. If you're gonna whine and cry over someone in their toy photography, don't. Skunkwork Studios jumping in here also, and then we have Stephen K. All right, I think we got to everyone. 67 people. Please hit the like button if you haven't yet. All right. So what did I get this? What did I get this week? Did I already say? Let's see here. Lifeline, Hit and Run, the Night Viper, Big Lob, the Morat Stage 2, which no one cared about. But hey, we did see that the head can work on the old figure. It doesn't have the neon hood on it at all. I got all 4 Operation Recall figures. Really good figures. We waited a long time. Not perfect. There is an issue with the one that is hard to say his name. It means ghost. He kind of moves like those heavy armory figures, if that's what their name, I think their name is, at the waist. I think that's how it's set up. Also, General Morphitor, something like that. I don't know. I will never get it right, so don't worry. He's a 4-inch figure. This is something, and I reached out to Carson and I asked him. I said, "Hey, is the General a 4-inch O-ring figure?" And he said, "Yes, we have 2." They said they also have a 3.5 figure. I'm not sure which one that is. I'm gonna have to go and I'm gonna have to get that figure. He'll be my favorite figure because he's shorter than others. That's the first that I've heard of a shorter figure. But I know Delta 17, they do 2 4-inch figures in their line because guess what? We're all not the exact same height, and I absolutely love that. Matt O'Brien jumping in and say happy Monday night, Lawrence and crew. Great to see you here. Rowdy, are you asking me, do I have any Jada Street Fighter? I have almost all of them, and I'm done with them after this. I have Akuma, whatever his name is. sitting in my BBTS pile of loot. I don't know if I'm gonna get rid of it, and if I want to buy it, I can just go up to Sergeant Reds and get it. I don't care for the new wave of figures coming out. For the new for the latest game that they're doing. So I'm kind of I'm done with that line. So I got what I needed, what I wanted, and I'm happy with that. We have Chaz the Guru jumping in saying, "What up, party people?" Yo, Joe Daddy, you nailed it. You did nail it for sure. Back to what else I got. If you've been paying attention, Savage Crucibles, the Varnock Unchanged, an awesome figure with so much stuff. They are twin brothers, but you don't know which one you're gonna get, and it really wouldn't matter except for their their tattoos are opposite of each other. That's the only difference. They come packaged differently with different head sculpts and everything. So, but I think it kind of sucks. You're spending $60, which you get a lot of stuff. I'm not going to complain about the cost and everything you get, but you can grab another figure for $50, which is still $10 less, and arm him up with all the stuff that they had. I know Matthew said that he did that with one of them. A lot of fun. JLS Comics jumping in here saying, "What up, everyone?" And again, if you like that type of stuff, the Savage Crucible figures are fucking amazing. Amazing. No doubt about that. Rowdy, Zangief and Ihanda have not. I haven't got them yet. Yeah, Akuma is the one. Yeah, he's sitting in my pile of loot. Sergeant Rez, I know, got him. I'm not really in a hurry to have them shipped. If it was Zangief or Ihanda, I probably would have. But I'm again like once those figures are done. When I meant the wave, I meant the next video game, the next Street Fighter video game that they're doing. I'm happy with getting all the ones that we already have, or the ones they've already shown for this Ultra Street Fighter. But after that, I'm done. Like, I'm not into it. And then I also got, I'm bouncing around back and forth. Shocker. The Ultimate Dungeon or Deluxe Dungeon. I got it for Once a Man Cobra Commander for $30. And my guess is, and now it's only available, same with that and the Varnox Unchained. It looks like they're only available on Savage Crucibles, at least for right now, which means they should be available at cons. They're a lot of fun, but the dungeon is awesome. You can use it for so many things. I know G.I. Jetman said, he bought it for Crocmaster. It can be used for anything. And again, I think for $30, what you get with it, all the different skeletons, it's going to be something that is great for background. I pretty much used it with the scenes that I have in the background, like the stuff from Action Figures Sold Separately in the background. So now I have a real dungeon look to it. It is one of those things, again, $30. If you can get one, pick it up if you go to a show. I don't think anyone's going to be disappointed in it if you do stuff like that. There's no doubt about that. Troy Bleefer jumping in here saying, little late to the show. Evening Punks, hey, glad to have you here. And Krusty Old Crow says, okay, so remember how you said you dialed back on toys because it just took 15 minutes to recap what you got this week. Yeah, I'm not done. I also got Nashorn, who I didn't review, and I don't know if I'm going to. I got a Wolverine, and I got my first toy collector magazine. And I said, I decided this week not to buy certain things. All right. This means as of this weekend, I had decided, listen, my decision making isn't the best. There's a reason why I pay child support and I've been single for 11 years. But then again, being single for 11, maybe that is good That's good decision making now that I think about it. Uh, um, so anyway, there's that. There are the classic videos are still rolling out. I pushed them back so they wouldn't interfere with everything. Um, so yeah. Matthew, I agree. It is, but I just ordered the whole year. Um, Again, it's in print and everything costs money. So I figured I went with either 1 year or 2 years. I forget. It wasn't awful, to be honest, and I haven't really sat down to go through it and look at everything. But hopefully, it gives you some insight, and I can talk about it maybe on the show. The way I really looked at it, like I could probably use it to create some content because we know we get a lot of lulls um, during the summer years and different things like that. So, Odin01 saying, you saw the original series Bridge playset and decided to go all in on the sell Star Trek. We'll talk about that. We really, I mean, again, we really talked about that and why they went with a 7-inch scale. I don't know. It really makes no sense to me. All right, I want to say thank you to Joe Fan 84 for his Thursday with a friend. He was, he said he was a little nervous with stuff. He did wonderful. Again, this is where I pat myself on the back. There's a lot of people that usually will tell me afterwards that they were nervous. Some people tell me ahead of time, hey, I'm a little nervous. I can't tell you how many people have come back, messaged me afterwards, told me, after the stream was over, like I was really nervous and, you were very calming with it. You made it really easy. Again, I'm not grilling people with questions. We're sitting down and having a conversation. I think the early ones that that I was doing, it was more question based. I knew what I wanted to get to. I knew what I wanted to talk about. Now I have no questions. I don't really bring up pictures. I don't ask for anything. People always ask, hey, what do you need from me? I don't need anything. You show up and be willing to talk and know that we're going to be sitting here for 2 to 3, maybe even 4 hours at times. So I will pat myself on the back. So many people have said, hey, you know what? You did a really good job of making it seem very calm and relaxing. And again, you're only talking to maybe 30 or 40 people. It's not like we have 75 people watching right now. There's other channels that are getting 300 people. Circle of Jerks, we've gotten 150 people watching. I don't think I'm ever going to pull numbers like that here. And unfortunately, the show that I am most proud of, Thursday with a Friend, probably will never pull those numbers. But I'd rather have it talking to the people that really want to tune in and hear what someone has to say. So, all right. Quickly here, I did see Ovid saying, I miss Penthouse Magazine. I don't know if I've ever actually seen, I don't think I've ever looked through a Penthouse magazine. And that's not to say I've never looked through a nudie magazine. I'm just saying I don't remember ever looking at a Penthouse magazine. And believe me, I've looked at more than, before anyone said it, more than just Playboy. I just don't remember if I looked at any other ones. But yeah. All right. And then we had Brick something. I just saw jumping in and saying, screw the numbers. Numbers aren't punk. Oh no, believe me, I'm just it is a point of reference is what it is. I'm happy with where the channel has gone. And where it continues to go. There's no doubt about it. I'll tell you something about numbers. And this is something that I have I've talked to some people about it here. I used to get more views on my live streams. And I started to notice that people would stay the whole 3 hours. And once people started staying from 9 to when we finished, your numbers drop. And I think that's because when somebody leaves and then they come back, that counts as 2 views or possibly 3 views. I would rather have a lower count knowing that, hey, I'm keeping people the whole time. rather than have all these views, because really I want people to stay into the channel, be part of the conversation, because I'll say it again, you people here in the chat, you're what make this show. Um, there's me talking. I am just background noise. I am something to give you guys a topic to discuss, and I absolutely, um, I love that. And again, like I'll say it again, I love the community that we have cultivated here. And it wasn't just me. I'm just the central focal point here. Matt O'Brien says, I may be finally unpacking and setting up my classified collection this summer. Anyone have any good recommendations on detail, shelving, and lighting? I would say just build shelves. That's what I've done. It's actually much cheaper. And get LED lights. The only problem with LED lights that I have is that every single device somehow will affect them. My remote control flips some on, flips some off, changes colors depending on what buttons you hit. It is highly fucking frustrating. But yeah, I find building shelves, just going to Home Depot or Lowe's, an 8 foot by 12 white board, and the brackets, and they look really nice. You put them in your living room or wherever you want, or you can do the details, if that's what you're into. I think that becomes a little bit more expensive than anything. Evo Dookie says Matt O'Brien Home Depot shelves are called Fufu Gaga, whatever that means. And Rowdy says, I just finished getting my whole collection in one room. It's a nice thing to walk into. Oh man, I wish. Like, I mean, mine is all over the place. The GI Joe room, I still enjoyed walking into the GI Joe room, and now I like the other side of the other side of the other side of the basement where the gym is, and now I have all the boxes where I do my reviews. And if you can see the shelves are actually starting to collect action figures and not just not boxes. But unfortunately, there's more boxes coming. There are more boxes coming. I need to get to a point where I can sell stuff that I no longer want. That's probably been my biggest issue. Anyway, where I was thank you to Joe Fan. And this week, this Thursday with a friend, I will have GI Customs on. You have probably seen GI Customs. He has been all over the place. He has been 3D printing stuff like crazy. And he's one of the people. He came into the scene. I had a little brief talk with him before I asked him to come on the show, and we just kind of went back and forth. I know he sent some stuff to Yojo Jerk. I don't know if Yojo Jerk bought him or if he sent him, whatever. And Jerk talked about it, and he has been just constantly putting out new stuff. And again, I'm assuming he's doing very well. He does a live stream. I think he does it on Tuesdays. I don't ever watch it because it's on at 6 and we're going on at 6:30 for Circle of Jerks, but you can always watch it on the replay. So he's doing a lot of stuff there and just kind of printing stuff out. And I said, hey, you know what? Let's have you on and we can chat about some stuff and find out what it is, that makes you tick and all that other good stuff. So anyway, all right. As for getting into the wonderful news is the sponsors, and I don't know if I can really discuss Hella Dope Toys right now. I think they're on a hiatus. I hope it's just a hiatus for them. They do still have a website. I don't know if they still have product there. It would be nice, but we do have Top Fun Toys. Use my code PUNKWithToys and you get 10% off your entire order. And they make some wonderful weapons that are more inexpensive compared to a lot of other 3D printers. We have the Amazon affiliates, Entertainment Earth, and good stuff like that. Tony's face jumped in here saying, what's up, fellow collectors, fellow subscribers, fellow YouTubers, and fellow customizers? Tony's in the house. I'm not really sure why he put quotes around that stuff, but I guess Tony was feeling it at that time. And he says, Punk's chat formula rocks. Well, thank you. I feel like I do feel like that is one of those. He's kind of biased considering we do a show together, and he's one of my best friends. But I appreciate it. And just ignore it. You guys should all just say you're absolutely correct. So anyway, let's get into some toy talk. But before we do, we're gonna listen to what Mossman had to say about Hella Dope Toys. Just because Tony's in the house and he loves Mossman.
Oh, hey guys. So Lawrence, he had to step away for a little bit. He's got a case of the Grumble Duff. So he asked me to kind of watch over a stream. He put me in charge of y'all. He said to me, "Oh, Mossman, I have a case of the Grumble Duff, and I need you to watch myself for a little bit so nobody leaves and finds out that there's more interesting things to watch on YouTube. And also, I hate Ohio." So I was like, oh, dang, so now I have to come up with a topic for my very own show. And I was like, oh, what about talking about your favorite toy stores? So my favorite toy store is HellaDopeToys.com. So they used to have this really bad website. It used to look real scammy. Like if I gave them money, they were going to go spend it on like blow and hookers. But now their website is really nice. And like I can just go in and do like 1-2 click. And then my order's placed. And they ship super fast, guys. They ship everything in one business day. So like I get all my toys first. So when I'm out there on the playground and all my friends are like, oh, dang, Mossman, where'd you get that action figure? I still have to wait 17 months for mine. And I'm just like, well, I went to HellaDopeToys.com and I just pushed the buttons and then they shipped it out to me. And the packaging is so nice, guys. Like, I opened up the box and I thought, oh, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve this kind of packaging. It's so nice. But then my trash can gets full because of all the packing stuff. And I was just like, oh, dang, I just changed the trash. But now I gotta change the trash again. Oh, you're right, Matthew Matson. You can use the code APWT at HellaDopeToys.com and save 10% on your order. So how that works is, so you're gonna save 10%, and then a Punk with Toys, he has to pay that 10% that y'all save. So if you don't like Lawrence, you can just go to HellaDopeToys.com and just buy a bunch of stuff and rack up his bill. So then like at the end of the month, they're like, Hella Dope Toys is like, oh, Lawrence, you owe us $1 million because of all the 10% codes that everybody used. And yeah, that's how that works. Okay, guys, so it looks like it's time for me to go now. So make sure you go to HellaDopeToys.com and like and subscribe. And then in the comments, put what your favorite toy store is. But if it's not HellaDopeToys.com, I'm probably just going to delete it, okay? So, all right, guys, bye!
All right, let's start off with a little bit of McFarlane right now. Let's say hi to Billy Boys Toys, who's jumping in here saying hi to everyone. All right, so McFarlane, they're not going anywhere. They may be losing the DC license, but not just yet. Don't worry. But they were showing off some new stuff that they're going to be working on. And we've all seen the Mortal Kombat. And I have to say this. I would continue to buy. This is for Rowdy. I would continue to buy the Street Fighter figures that Jada is making that I don't care for over any of these. Because I'm sorry, most of his figures are just so fucking funky looking. I just don't get it. But you know what? If this is what you like, if you are like, hey, you know what? I need my Mortal Kombat. Here you go. And here's a Johnny Cage. If I got any of these wrong, I apologize. I actually did try and look up which ones they are. Ermac, which I find this weird. And again, I've never played Mortal Kombat. They seem to have a bunch of figures that had the exact same outfit. Again, it was a video game, so I don't know why you continue to have different characters with the same outfit. But maybe there is something to the lore, to the story. I don't know. I just know that you'll see a lot of these figures, like Noob Saibot. I don't know. He's all black, but he is this figure right there. and he's Scorpion, and he's Sub-Zero, right? No, maybe no, Sub-Zero might be different. I don't know. Like I told you, I don't really watch it. I never played that game. Man, I really didn't like that game. U.S. Combat Dojo jumping in there saying, "Hey all." Matthew says if you listen to Toddy's interviews after Toy Fair, he's going to push all the legal limits to the agreement with DC. He will produce them to the last second. Oh, there is no doubt in my mind. We've been saying this forever that he's going to continue to do that, but he definitely is making sure that he has other lines, other properties, and that is again this Mortal Kombat is one of them. I mean, he's always going to have Spawn. I can't imagine him losing that license. So here's Jade, and again, if you are into Mortal Kombat, they're here for you. But this is again, I just don't like the way they look. And Mortal Kombat always did look much different than Street Fighter. I just think it would have been really cool. And again, we can go back and forth about this. The same way with the DC, DC Universe, had they been the same scale. Because then people finally could have had their headcanon of fighting that they wanted. Here is Frozen Sub-Zero. I think I got this right. Frozen Sub-Zero. Translucent figures are cool. But this one is just everything I feel lost. When I look at it, I'm like, this is just kind of, I'm lost looking at it. Now, maybe in person, you can actually tell what it is. But it looks more like an ice sculpture, which maybe that's what it's supposed to be. I mean, he is Frozen Sub-Zero. And then I didn't know who this guy was. So if someone knows who this guy is, you can tell me. We'll be long gone. I actually like the way this one looks better than Frozen Sub-Zero. This one looks like he's like water Sub-Zero. I actually like this blue. I think it actually looks pretty good. But I like translucent figures. But sometimes they just don't work. But like I said, sometimes the camera isn't going to do justice for it. All right, so here we have whatever these are. I have one. My son has one. Doom. I believe these are Doom figures. But again, he's going to continue with different lines, which is smart. I mean, he needs to. And like Matthew said, he's going to push that DC license, and he should, right? You've had it this long. He knows people are still buying it. He should push it as long as he can, because he already has so many of these molds. But I think this looks pretty good. I know nothing about, I believe this is Doom. I know nothing about it, but my son wanted it. I got one, and I actually thought it looked pretty damn good. And that was a couple years ago. So, MCI real fur, poor bears. I don't know what this guy is. I feel like this should be a DC, but he wasn't in the DC section, and I don't recognize him. So if someone knows what what like Silver Batman, or actually looks more like Wolverine. It looks like a Wolverine mask, if anything. Please tell me what it is. Shadowhawk. I kind of see the little hawk right there. I have no idea what this is, so I will trust what you guys are saying. Darklaw, you mean Ted? No, Hello Dope Toys, we don't know where they're at. Debo DNA jumping in here. And we have, let's see, I saw a few other people quickly jump in, like Nojin. Let me know that it's also Shadowhawk. We got Into Mystery. Man, I need to go back to fucking up names, because then all these people come out of the woodwork and actually start posting. So and then we have this guy. I don't know. He's World of Warcraft, because I can see the Warcraft in the back. I think he's World of Warcraft. I have no idea whatsoever. But he was in the McFarlane section. I think the McFarlane section is it okay. So yeah, I was thought so. I was thinking that he looked like Lord of the Rings, but in the back, it is that not. You know what? I don't. I don't know. Shockwave says Shadowhawk, the first HIV positive comic book character. All right, first off, Shockwave, have I ever seen you before? I'm gonna say no because I can't.
Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. You gotta understand, man. I never even saw these assholes before.
And if you've been here, I just want to play that. I know Hellboy. I knew that. Even if it went said Hellboy behind it, I knew it was Hellboy. So he's doing Hellboy 2, which is something. And here's a second Hellboy. So, interesting because I thought that Boss Fight had the license for that. So, and Ed says he's been here. Like I said, I think he changed his icon. Yeah. Well, it hasn't been like no one has him in hand, so who knows if he's a good Hellboy or not. It's McFarlane. I mean, that's all I have to say. If you like McFarlane figures, then I think that you'll probably like it. If you don't, then you'll be like, yeah, not for me. Lost Ranger jumping sent. Oh man, I'm getting all of these at Ollie's. Does he have a lot of stuff that goes to Ollie's? And I mean it because I really don't. I don't know. All right, and here we have a dragon guy. What the hell's his name? I forgot to put the names in. I spent a lot of time. Savage Dragon. Thank you very much. Savage Dragon. I actually knew that. That's why I actually didn't put the name in, but I blanked out completely. Because I do remember the comic book came out. Russell Lemieux says, I bought one McFarlane, was like, damn, this long, lanky, ugly ass Batman. Yeah. Again, it's McFarlane is not for everyone. I'm everyone. All right. Fallout. He's going pretty hard with the Fallout. Again, if Fallout continues and it's a good property, then this would be smart for him. But I guess we will see. So I know we've seen some of these figures before. And I do know this character. I watched season 1, so I know who this character is. I don't know what happens in season 2 because I haven't watched it yet. I will get around to it. Because now I think it's completely done, so I can just turn it on and watch it. But it's about to start getting nicer out. So all those ideas of things I was going to do while it was cold out, March is coming. So we will see. Super Davin jumping in here saying the McFarlane Turtles are pretty good. You see, I don't cover any Turtles, Davin. So I could not tell you. So like that's one reason why I don't put them in there. I'll let other creators talk about Turtles and stuff. But it is good to know that that you feel his Turtles are good because they can make any joke that we want. I do want him to survive. He does a lot, in my opinion, when it comes to creating a figure that is cost effective for younger kids or for even adult collectors. Bobby Wold says, was there anything aimed for the younger generation, or is it all just adult collectors now at Toy Fair? Well, I did not go into the Motu stuff, but there is Motu stuff there. And I have them the new DC line. So we'll talk about that. And they only showed the DC line that is specifically set for kids. And when I say that, I'm talking a price range for kids. All right, here's some more Fallout. More Fallout. I think they're Fallout. There might be something else. I think these are the elites. Like they say Fallout on them. So I'm getting it right. Brick says most of what's at Toy Fair is for kids. And again, I did not go to Toy Fair. But I think so at least for me, and probably everyone else here, all the people that are covering Toy Fair that we watch are adult collectors. So they're probably not going through, they're not going through showcasing, what's for kids and everything. So for me, it was hard to tell. I'll trust what Brick says, that it's mostly for kids. We're probably seeing just a very small subsection of things that we're going to be interested in that are for just for adults. Nojin says, have I missed the G.I. Joe classified talk? No, that's at the end of the show. So you have some time. We have a lot to get through. Here's Helldivers. I have no idea what Helldivers is. The only thing I know about Helldivers is that Bees Battleground is super excited. I have no idea what Helldivers are. I don't know where they come from. I don't know if it's a video game, if it's a cartoon, what it is. I could, use this thing that I'm on called the computer, but I didn't really care. As a matter of fact, it's the only picture of a Helldiver I think I put in here, because when I scrolled through it, I was like, I don't know what these are. And I didn't write Helldivers down because I saw the ERS. I'm like, I'll remember that. Okay, so Thanos Copter says it is a video game. Thank you very much. And then we have Troy jumping in here saying, what's up, my dudes? And Brick something saying, yeah, what Lawrence just said, games, role-playing stuff, hella preschool stuff, and all the big IPs has a range that includes kid stuff, toy tubers, and our circles focused on collector stuff. And, that's something that, again, until just now, I never really thought about it because, again, you don't really go to Joe Fest or Legion's Con, stuff like that for kid stuff. But it does make sense that all the people we're watching that we're interested in, they're only going to be focused on the adult collector. So, and then Super Devin has become a new member. So you know what you're going to get.
Welcome to the Creamery.
And if anyone is wondering, that is my daughter. And that is named because of, Allison, she actually named it the Creamery. So, and it wasn't on purpose. It was just one of those weird things that happened. Billy Butch jumping and saying, good evening, fellas and gals. And then we have Dominic Johnson saying, and don't forget those awesome reactions, plus from your favorite company. How is that guy still the face of that company? Shake my head. Don't worry. I have them. All right, superpowers. So I know people love the superpowers. These are now going to be an Entertainment Earth exclusive. So if you want to get the last of the superpowers, they're available on Entertainment Earth. Here's what I will tell you though. Because Entertainment Earth is the distributor for most toy stores, like the independent toy stores, they may end up having them there. So if you don't want to order from Entertainment Earth for whatever reason, and you want to gamble, there is a good chance that they show up, at your independent toy store. Like for me, obviously Sergeant Reds and Nerd Out. They're two of the places in this area. But we're getting, let's see, a Robin, Patch Aquaman. Just know you can get more superpowers if you are interested in them. I don't know how many more people really, really want superpowers. It looks like Tony is still all about it. Like I said, you'll probably be able to get them elsewhere later on. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of the Entertainment Earth exclusives, a lot of the Jada exclusives showed up elsewhere. Hell, they even showed up at BBTS, which means that BBTS was buying directly from Entertainment Earth later on to put on their website. But here, again, I know a lot of people really like this. I think this was a great idea for him. Where I think he messed up, he got the price point right, very limited articulation, but they didn't scale perfectly with the original superpowers. And normally I wouldn't complain, but it would be like Super 7 doing the O-rings, but making them, you know, 4.25 rather than 3.75. Don't worry, because Super 7 will only do the most amount that they have to. They're going to do the littlest that they have to keep it the same, while every other company is pushing it. So there it is. This is your Entertainment Earth. I'm not sure if there's more coming out, and they're supposed to be out this summer. So I believe he has the license to the end of the year. To the end of the year. So we'll see how that goes. And here we have Batman the Animated Series. If I was going to go anything with the McFarlane stuff, like go hard into it, I would definitely go with the animated series. I think he really nailed the likeness. And again, I think other companies have done this too, although I can't believe I'm actually going to say that he has better articulation than with the original Superpowers and Batman the Animated Series figures. Like, I have a whole bunch. I had a whole bunch because I collected some, but my daughter had a whole bunch. And then my kids, like, she kind of passed them down to the two younger ones. They got a whole bunch. They don't even have pegs or holes to stand. And I'm the anti-stand guy, but some of these figures will not stand, and I mean cannot stand without stands. They're awful. They're fun to play with. Bad articulation. Radnam jumping in here saying hello everyone, and Larry. Radnam, I actually got a couple ideas for you. We'll talk this week. But I actually came up with a couple ideas that I think might work for some of the things we've discussed. Brick says, saw an interview with McFarlane and that he worked it out so that he has Superpowers license from the factory even after Mattel has a DC Master license. It's continuing. All right. And that's one of those things that I said, like, we talked about that, and I go, I wouldn't be surprised if he keeps them, if he still has that. Now, I didn't see this, and I mentioned this a while back, because it's different than what Mattel is going to be doing, and I think I think it's great that he was able to work something out to keep the Superpowers going. It's affordable for kids, yet adults definitely love it. So that's really, really good to hear. Rowdy says, if Todd at least got rid of pins, I would begin to rethink some of the $60 for what he's offering in Elite figure, and $34 regular release is crazy. I don't hate pins. I hate McFarlane pins because they're huge. But I do feel that going forward, all new molds, and I mean this for every company, they should lose the pins. Like, the technology is there. If you're using an older buck, we see it with some of the G.I. Joe stuff that they showed off. They're using older bucks. I don't have a problem with it. But if you're making new stuff, I'm with you. Like, all right, pins are gone. But again, I saw an interview with Shartimus, and when Shartimus brought up, like, pinless, he acted like, what is this pinless stuff you're talking about? Could you send some pictures to me so I can send it to my team, and maybe they can look into it? I'm like, I don't know. You just go to fucking Target and you can see every goddamn fucking figure there is pinless, because that's where we're at in life. All right. Seriously, like, if this guy was making cars, he'd still have leaded gas engines and carburetors and be like, what is this fuel injection that you're talking about? Anyway. All right. So here are some of these, the animated series figures. And again, I think they look really good. They're, again, stepped right out. So if you like these, again, cool. hopefully he's able to work out some. Again, he doesn't have the master license anymore. So hopefully he can, work out and keep some of the properties, right? Some of the stuff that he's making, because stuff like this I think looks really good. All right, here is deluxe theatrical edition of the Joker, and it's probably going to be like $60. I didn't look too much into it. But not that Joker. That's from the animated series, not from the Superpowers series. All right, and then we get the Brandon Routh Superman. I did not hate Superman Returns. I didn't. Could it have been better? Yes. But did I think that it was a decent start? And I just thought that what I liked about this Superman was they said it is a continuation from Superman 2, the Donner cut. And I love that Brandon Routh made sure that he did his best to be Christopher Reeves. And Christopher Reeves as Clark Kent and Superman. My problem was the other actors and actresses didn't try and portray that Lex Luthor and that Lois Lane. They were like, no, this is my take on it. Well, that's where that's where you fucked everything up. Like, you have one guy that's like, yes, I wanted to be what that Superman was. And then the other guys were like, yeah, fuck it. I want to put my own spin on it. Well, that kind of ruins the whole vibe of it, but whatever. There was one movie, it took Cyclops away. And Tony says, didn't hate it, just didn't like it. It had some fun parts. I absolutely love the scene where he saves the airplane, and I love the way the airplane absolutely collapses. So Lost Ranger says Spacey was preoccupied. We found that out later on, didn't we? Bryan Singer also may have been a little preoccupied. If I remember, he's not so much on the up and up either. And Ultramesh says, I agree with Rowdy Riles. No pinless technology at that price point is kind of. Oh no, I agree with that. Like, that's supposed to be like their big thing. You're absolutely right. And he did those ultimate spawns, and they look amazing. And his pins, again, this is also where your eyes go to. His pins are so big that you can't not notice them. That's the other thing that really fucking stands out. So anyway, there you go. And I think they really did a pretty good job on his face sculpt. If you were like, hey, I need Brandon Routh, there you go. They did a pretty good job with this. And then Nacelle. And this is all the Nacelle stuff. We talked about the room. We have been talking about these as they've shown off. I have no intention of really collecting these. I may pick up one or two. I think what they're doing, they look amazing. They are world building in a 1/10 scale. People thought world building in a 1/12 scale was a pain in the ass. You decided to go 1/10. Now, something like this clearly, the holodeck here, you could use this for anything. You're just going to end up with figures that are too big. Now, this is where I go, why? This is the same thing that we got from McFarlane. You decided to do a completely different scale, and it's not going to work with anything else other than just your Star Trek figures. But if you're a Star Trek collector, you're finally going to get something I think that looks pretty good and an affordable price too. So there's this. This is Wave 2. We got LaForge and Worf. And again, I love the accessories. That's really why I threw these on here. I know there's a lot of Star Trek collectors here. But yeah, this is the accessories that they're giving. they will work with all the other companies, the 118 or the 112 scales, not 118 scale. They will work with the 112 scale. And here you have a pot of chili. So if anyone has the dude from The Office, you can have him dumping chili all over. Russell Lemieux says, "Are you going to talk about Momo the cowgirl?" I think that's a negative, unless if I'm missing that. No, 110 does not work with 112, but some of the accessories will. That's what I'm saying. Kevin, thank you. I know who it is because I've watched all The Office, but you can't think of that stuff as you're going. Russell Lemieux says, Mr. Nacelle definitely collects Todd scale. There would also be NECA scale too. Just, I just wish that these, again, people do different scales, but again, these are these things. It's like, wow, I could have had these with, my Marvel Legends. No, I could have had them with Marvel Legends. I could have had them with Star Wars now, but Star Wars already run on the small side, and these are going to, be just too big. Nacelle is who makes these. So all of these, again, I think they look good. But other than a few that I like to cherry pick, I can't see myself getting. And here is your bridge that he has created. But you're going to have to buy all kinds of parts for it. Oh, you have to build the whole thing. But somebody's already said it makes a good base for a Terradrome if you want to. So there it is. These are your Star Trek. Pretty much hit everything. There's not too much to talk about, as we've talked about them, but they've shown them off now. But Mattel takes their sweet old time making figures, like getting figures into the hands of people. All right. And I know there was a couple. I think they showed off a couple new ones here. Yeah, these ones here. I believe these are new here. So that's Kirk as a Romulan. Like he's really doing the Super 7 thing, giving you obscure characters. I guess McFarlane does too. But these are at affordable prices. All right. So there we go. Factory Entertainment. What the hell is Factory Entertainment? That is a great question. So Factory Entertainment has the Battlestar Galactica line. And now this is from the 70s. Now, I think anytime that I've been on a show where we talk about a topic of, hey, what is a line that you would love to have in 6-inch form or even 4-inch form, which these are actually 1/18 scale. I would say Battlestar Galactica, but I want the Battlestar Galactica from the Sci-Fi Channel, the reboot from the early 2000s. I absolutely love that show. They were able to take that show and make it so much better than what the original was, but I still think paid homage to the way that it's supposed to be. But this Factory Entertainment came out with this. And I'm not a huge fan of like insulting what someone charges, but I think these might be priced a little too high. And I'm not even talking about the figures. So here's all the figures so far. You're going to get 5 figures. They're all boxed, but one of them actually comes with the Colonial Fighter. So here's the Colonial Viper. It's an electronic vehicle with Lieutenant Boomer for $249 at BBTS. Now, there is a lot of electronics to it, a lot of different lights, but this is 1/18 scale at $250. And yes, you get Boomer with it, but I think maybe it's priced a little too much. I wouldn't say they have a competitor, as I think these ones look way nicer, but in price range, possibly. But here it is with with the feet out, so it can land. It does have a stand, so it can be in flight. Uh, it has a multitude of like different LED colors. Um, Nolan, yeah, I'm with you. Like when I saw the price of the figures, I thought it was actually, and we'll talk about the figures. I thought it was all 5 figures. It's actually 4 figures, and I think this is where you just fail. We all complained about the price of the mask stuff. This is just crushing what they were giving there. But it does a lot. Like it does show off an awful lot, especially for this scale. Then the detail on it is amazing. Though I've never heard of this company. And they are up for pre-order at BBTS. So if you want to go there, and I think you might be able to actually order them from their site too. Krusty says, love the 2000 show and what they did, but as a toy, even that run wouldn't be worth that price. Well, no, I didn't say I wanted it at this price. Lost Ranger says it also flies. They're not telling you that part. It better fly for that price. and quickly, we have another celebrity jumping in here. The Baldilocks, which episode of Star Trek was this in? Are you in the past? Baldy might be in the past. I don't know. And just plain yogurt jumping in and saying, I would be on board if that price was 112, but not 118. If we were talking that this was 112th, you're absolutely correct. It'd be a completely different conversation for this thing being 250 with a figure, right? Again, that was the price of the Robo Skull, and the Robo Skull, that came with a 118 scale figure, though it can be used for 112th figures, which is what most people are actually using it for. Just plain yogurt. Yeah, you said that already, and I just wanted to say I'm looking forward to Spaceballs 2. I know you're going to knock it out of the park. Bobby Wold wants to know, does that come with a spring-loaded choking hazard missile play the original did? I don't think so. So here's Lieutenant Boomer. Now, I originally thought Lieutenant Boomer came in the pack, or came with all the figures that you'll see the price of that. So here is the here's the figures, 3.75 scale. They look pretty good. All right. I'm not going to complain about the looks when you're coming to something this small, but 4 figures at 118 scale, 3.75 for 120 or 120. I thought it was 120 for all 5 figures. I think it's an easier pill to swallow. But this is, one of those. All right, they do look good, but you look at this here, and really, there's only 2 different bucks. They have the Cylon buck, and then you have the Colonial buck. So here we have Captain Apollo. They nailed the helmet, and they really nailed everything on here, other than what the price is. And we have M. Hatfield jumping in here, laughing at someone or something. But again, I have no issues with with how they look. It would have just been nice if 120 was for all 5 figures. I might have even thought about picking those up, and not the Colonial, the Colonial Viper. That's way out of my price range of something that I want to invest in. Wade Howlettson jumping in here saying, sup everyone, and also Joe Fan jumping in here, Joe Fan 84, who was my previous guest on Thursday with a friend. If you haven't checked it out, please go do. All right. Here's the Cylon. This is the Centurion. I think I'm saying that wrong. Mudhorn Station saying the pre-order for this just gone up in the UK, and the price is $189. Figures are priced at $26.95 each, or $99 for all. That doesn't help us. I'm not trying to be a dick in Mudhorn. Doesn't help us in the US figure out. I literally just talked fucking Chinese to everyone. I've just confused people more than what I already do when I'm talking about shit. Devil Dog jumping in saying, "What's up, everyone?" All right. So yeah, Cylon, and then we have the Command Cylon. Maybe I didn't watch enough of Battlestar Galactica, the original. I don't remember a gold Cylon. I'm sure it was there, because companies like this, they know they cannot make anything new because people would absolutely lose their shit. Go see G.I. Joe. But again, these look good. It's just the price point. And then we have Face Man here, which I think they did a pretty good job. I think the sculpt on Starbuck here is pretty good. But yeah, that's not bad at all. Stephen K here saying a pound is worth $1.36. Yeah, I see now. I can't convert that shit. Oh God, what is this? This is Battlestar Galactica. You know what? Yeah, Ed, fucking put your partner in a fucking timeout. Doesn't know this shit. Thinks fucking Star Wars. Dude, this guy. Okay, this guy literally thought that Star Wars was a fucking spoof off of Spaceballs. I shit you not. You cannot make this shit up. But he also, when we were on there, myself, Ed, and Skunkworks Studio, we had a game show. And one of the questions was, what is the only G.I. Joe character that was a real life military figure? Because he couldn't fucking Google and find out that Sergeant Slaughter was not a real Marine. It was his act. So he might have to be put in timeout. Anyway, there you go. That is your Battlestar Galactica. If you are interested, I see that price point and I feel like it's dead on arrival. Hiya, they're another one that's like, hey, this is expensive. So this is the Exquisite Super Series Ed 209, and the price is $209. So if this would have been Ed 111, the price would have been $111. I blame RoboCop for all of this. This is 1/12 scale and 7.9 inches. I felt that the Ed 209 was bigger than that. Am I wrong? Like, I thought the Ed 209 was bigger than that. Lost Ranger said NECA had the best Ed 209. They look nice. Will it be better than this one? I hope not for the price. It looks amazing. But holy shit, dude. $209. And again, we spent a lot of money on shit, but I just don't see the value when NECA produces one, which again, Matthew says he has it. I think it's around $60 or $70. I know it's nowhere close to $209, and NECA is already, they're up there in their price. I don't think they're an awful price because they give you a lot of accessories. But if you are interested in this, this will probably be the best one. I mean, this will probably be better than what NECA does. Probably better articulation, but at that price point, it should be the best one and shouldn't even come close. Erectile dysfunction 209, yes. No wonder it's Mudhorn says, "No worries, not mad in the slices. It's unusual. It's unusual for us to be paying less for new products than yourselves. We usually pay more, or at least it seems that way." No, and you know what? Again, some of these places should be considering it's closer, but now with these tariffs, who knows? And I'm not going to get into a tariff talks, but yeah. And Matthew says it looks better than the NECA, but isn't worth it not to. And that's what I'm saying. Like, from what I've seen of the NECA 209, this one looks better. But it goes back to, the people that tell me, hey, I have the G.I. Joe Classified Duke. It's not worth me spending $120 on the NECA version, or not the NECA version, the Mezco version. And how can I argue that? Like, you're absolutely right. But, that SDCC Snake Eyes, it looks great. The Commando Snake Eyes, it looks great. But when you go, hey, that thing was $130. I bought Snake Eyes for $120. The retro carded one, and it's fine. Well, I can't argue that. And you can't buy that retro Snake Eyes for $25 anymore. Just say that. So here's everything that it does come with: 7.9 inches. It looks good. It really does. A lot of blast effects, which I think do look good. But you have to tell yourself, are you willing to justify spending, $209, because it was $209 at $209. Super 7. Now, there will be no G.I. Joe stuff in the Super 7. That is in the G.I. Joe section of it. If you don't know, that's how I break things down. If I'm talking G.I. Joe, everything's going to be in G.I. Joe, whether it be Mezco, which looks like they don't do that anymore, Super 7, fucking Turtles. I will talk Turtles today. Don't worry. All right. So you get the Peanuts license. These are just regular Super 7 reaction, not the Reaction Plus. So they have no articulation. See, to me, so this is where I look at something like the Peanuts and I kind of go, all right, you know what? This doesn't need a lot of articulation. These are, these are just standalone. These are people that absolutely love, the Peanuts. They love Snoopy. They're going to throw it up there. They don't need articulation. They don't have play value. They have value for sitting on someone's desk and someone walks by and goes, "Oh, hey, you know what? I love the Peanuts games. I love Snoopy." That's what this is for. Do I still think they're overpriced? Hell yeah, because again, we can find stuff that's comparable when it comes to articulation. I don't like when people tried comparing the Final Faction to Super 7 and saying, "Oh, the paint's just as good." That is the biggest crock of shit. The Dollar General Final Faction, their paint was not even close to what the Super 7 reactions are, nor was the quality of the plastic. But this is where you really should be able to go, okay, this is we can charge a little more. I'll go back to their punk rock figures, their rap figures and music figures. Like, that's the type of stuff. Yeah, you pay a little bit more because they're not going to make nearly as many. But when it comes to the G.I. Joe stuff, Transformers, you're going to be making more because it's a toy product. All right. Royal Roosters Collectibles saying those things better be cheap. They're $25 now, either 20 or 25. I believe they all went up to 25. All right. So you do have wave 2 of Universal Monsters Reaction Plus. So again, these are the O-ring figures. They actually do have some articulation. I will continue to bag on this, and I will say this till they finally fucking change things. Every single one of these O-rings, and I don't care what company it is, but especially Super 7, who is a bigger company. Although in this magazine here, it says and I didn't read through it completely. I just skimmed and went, oh, look at this. They got like another $10 million loan, it looks like. I have to read through it completely and see what they have to say about it. These all should have articulated necks, and they should all have swivel wrists. There's no reason for it. If guys like Operation Recall, Delta 17, Call Sign Longbow, when they finally come out with their stuff, I saw someone complaining about the Call Sign Longbow and how long it's taking. They know it. It is something that has been ongoing. Skeletron, like these guys are all doing articulated wrists. These small companies. There's no reason why a bigger company like this can't do it. Back to the Future. I think we might have actually seen these. I know we talked about a few Back to the Future. Again, these are the O-ring. The Reaction Plus with their O-rings. This is what Super 7 should have been doing all along. They should have dumped the 5 POA that, Brian Flynn will tell you he loves and it's better than O-ring, and again, he says that, and then people go, well, what's he supposed to say? You say, hey, you know what? We can't really do that right now. I would love to do it, but unfortunately, this is what don't fucking lie. It's that simple. Don't lie. I don't know why that's so difficult. Then we have Doc. Again, light on the accessories. They're always light on the accessories. And it's something that guys like me and other toy tubers are going to bag on them about until they finally do something. It's unfortunate. All right. I put turtles in here? Yes. I have a problem with O-ring turtles. I'm not a scale snob by any stretch of the imagination, right? The people that want to go around and fucking jack off and say that God scale, shut the fuck up, dude. Like, it's a scale. But turtles are a specific look, and they don't look like O-rings. And when I see something like this, they don't do the look of a turtle proper. They just don't. These look like G.I. Joe figures that are dressed as turtles. Now, the Foot Ninja, the Foot Soldiers, they look fine. But when I look at these turtles, they don't look like turtles. They don't have the aesthetics of a turtle and how they should look. Stephen K says, what is the point of O-ring without waist articulation? That's a damn good question. Now, again, that may be one of those things that you kind of have to eliminate. And do they have it under the belt though? And I haven't looked at them, but again, like, they don't have the turtle aesthetic, and that's what a turtle is supposed to be. It doesn't work for me. Royal Rooster Collector says the turtle thing's way too small. There's just certain things that, again, I'm not a scale snob, right? Again, G.I. Joe is 12-inch right, and I'm 6-inch right now. It used to be 12-inch before. It was 3.75. I don't have a problem with that. But there's certain things like now you're trying to cram everything into this because you got the license, and I just don't think that they look proper. I'm a scale snob. But anyway, this again, I don't get it. And Super Davin says, I don't think these O-ring turtles are stout. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's just, I don't know. I'll let you guys decide. I have a feeling they're going to sit there, and turtles do wonderful. But this goes back to what I said. Every fucking company gets a turtle license. Like, how Playmates lost it is a whole nother story, but whatever. Anyway, so there you go. If you like the turtles and you want these and you're like, fuck you, punk, I hate you now because you insulted O-ring turtles, well, I don't apologize because I said what I said. Super 7 Visionaries are coming. I know the name Visionaries. I don't remember Visionaries. but it goes in with the G.I. Joe Transformers and stuff like that. So there we go. And then we have these guys here. So this is Emperor Zurg. This is the Micronauts. I do not remember Micronauts. Okay. Don't remember Micronauts. I know the name only because of recent times. But we have Emperor Zurg, all in black. If you don't know who Zurg is, I'm sorry. You've missed one of the greatest franchises of all time. He comes with one accessory because God forbid Super 7 give you more than one accessory. But I know people are really excited for this. And again, they somehow do tie in with G.I. Joe, Transformers, Mask, and all that other stuff. And again, if you're into it, awesome. That's why I'm showing it to you guys. This is a time traveler. Again, I don't know what Micronauts are. He's a translucent dude with a silver head, and I can see his crotch right through everything. Matter of fact, I told you, you guys know how I am. I go through everything. I put slides in, but sometimes
I don't go through all the graphics before the show.
I didn't realize you could see the T-hook. And you can see that fucking T-hook right there. You can't see it, right? Or you can see it. But there you go. Whatever the time traveler is, again, I know nothing about Micronauts. I know the name, and that's about where it is. Here's the blue one that you can see his crotch. You can really see it in the yellow one. But if this is something you're into, I mean, good for you. I don't care that people are getting stuff that I'm not getting. And again, I like to make jokes about things, and again, that's what keeps 97 of you guys tuning in here. To check this out. But here he is, another time traveler. I mean, everyone loves their repaints. I get that. But fuck, dude, they just love it. Like they're repainting shit before the first one even comes out. All right. Here is the Super 7 Lion-O and Snarf. And these are deluxe action figures. I don't know what's deluxe about them. These are the ones you find on card at Target. I believe Entertainment Earth said they have them up for pre-order, or they're going up for pre-order. Again, you get the gauntlet and the sword. That's all you get for what was $35, and I think the price has gone up. Again, I normally will tell you that, hey, I don't know what the price, what goes into the cost of something. What I do know is that I can look at other companies that are pricing things around the same price and seeing what the articulation is, what they come with. And I know for a fact that they are ripping you off. But if you like this, because they're the only ones right now with the Thundercats line for right now, this is what you have to be stuck with. Here's Snarf. I've seen Snarf a bunch of times at Target. I think this is a different Snarf. I don't know what's different about him, but I think it is something different. Action Joe Figs jumping in and saying, I had the Micronauts as a kid in the late 70s. Yeah, a lot of people did. I don't remember them at all. That's what is really like, it's weird. And I actually have a couple that I gotten a lot. Didn't even realize it. I'm like, oh, that's what that is. And then he says, Super Dam says, crazy that Lion-O doesn't have both versions of the sword. You have to get Snarf. Exactly. At least I can understand the justification when it came to the naked gargoyles. And they didn't really realize, hey, everyone wants to trade capes. I think they thought everyone's gonna be like, fuck yeah, we got these giant fucking wings. And then everyone complained about the wings, which I didn't understand because you knew that you were getting giant wings. People bought these fucking gargoyles and like, the wings look huge. Like, you didn't fucking notice that before you bought them? Anyway, this makes no sense because it's a small little thing and it goes directly with him. All right. Don't get me started. And Todd C jumping and saying, that's my purse. I don't know you. We got Tube Top saying snarf snarf. I do not remember you at all. So you know what?
Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. You gotta understand, man. I never even saw these assholes before.
That's what new people that I don't recognize, even though sometimes they've been here, get. And I also just like to see Ash. Dan Olton jumping in here. So Mattel should pull that Thundercats rug out from under Super 7 like they did Motu. Well, that's the whole thing. No one really knows who owns it. Although we're going to talk about it in a little bit for sure. Here we have Evil Lino because they were like, I need to repaint something. So we'll repaint this. And it looks like they may have given him the older head. And once again, you only get the sword and the gauntlet. But if you need an Evil Lionel, I kind of remember Evil Lionel, but maybe not. Alex Martinez jumping in and saying, I'm looking forward to the FDW, to the I'm looking forward to the Mezco Thundercats that was recently announced. Yeah, I was getting to that when I get to Mezco. Okay, so clearly you were talking to someone about this. Don't even get me started. Again, I love Classified. The most frustrating thing, and we're not even talking to, they have multiple fucking head sizes or head pegs. Fucking so stupid. Anyway, there you go. Lionel mirror, Evil Lionel, if you want it. This is the deluxe 7-inch scale, fully articulated with accessories. Have you ever seen what a fully articulated Super 7 Ultimate is? It is not fully articulated. That is so far from being fully articulated. All right. So here we have Mummy Mumra, which is essential to have if you are doing a line. And again, at least you can now get them for $35 rather than spending $55, or I think they're $65 now. I think is their ultimates, ultimate price. It's the only thing that's ultimate on these things. But here you go, fully articulated with, see, and this made me laugh, with accessory. You know what? It's not plural. It's with accessory. You get one. And then we have Ghost Jaga. And again, I like the translucent. I like the design of this. You know, I will give Super 7 this. For the most part, the sculpting is normally good. Before anyone says Andre the Giant and the Green Power Rangers, you're absolutely correct. There was nothing good about those. Oh, Krusty says they count the box as an accessory. Thanos says the Mumra is a pretty big down. These are all big downgrades, but they're giving you they're charging you less. And I think that's like their thing. Like, wow, they're on Target and you can go buy it. Like with accessory. You already have these accessories, and yet you don't want to give extra ones. But that's Super 7. Again, I'm the one that still shows them off. I know people like them. People want the Thundercats. That's the biggest thing. And they're the ones with the license. And anyone that has Animal Warriors of the Kingdom, I'm just saying, like, if they got that license, not that they could afford the license, You go look at what the AWOC figures are, and you'll be fucking blown away. And be like, if this is what my Thundercats are like, I would be super excited. But anyway, there you go. On to Nika. Well, only one person calls it Nika because, well, he's an idiot. Any sane person calls it NECA because that's the name of it. So on to NECA. These guys are the one, like, they truly are the ones that said, hey, you know what you didn't know you needed? And that was McDonald's toys and not from a Happy Meal. And yes, NECA and McDonald's have come to an agreement. So you're getting Ultimate Grimace, which I don't think I'll be getting Ultimate Grimace, but I also can't lie that having an Ultimate Grimace in some really fucked up pictures would be a lot of fun. I'm guessing Thanos Copter is getting Ultimate Grimace. And the way his hands just kind of stick out. But he looks like Grimace. I mean, I don't know what else to say on this. I think people are going to like this. And then you have Birdie, the early bird costume figure, and Hamburglar. Hamburglar, I think, is going to be that's probably going to be the big seller. I think everyone, when you think of McDonald's, Hamburglar comes to mind. Let's be honest, Birdie will never sell. She will sit there and do nothing. Lost Ranger says, haha, that's kind of cool. Not for me, but 50-year-old brother loves these characters. And that's just it. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, they just got a niche and they said people are going to buy it, and they definitely will. Abbott says, name a McDonald's figure that everyone has forgotten. Yes. Birdie. I didn't forget Birdie. I don't think I ever knew Birdie's fucking name. Alex Martinez says, yes, I want this line of McDonald's characters. Cow Shave, Grimace should be flocked. You are 100% correct. 100%. What about Grimace and Mossman? Oh, that gives some pretty good skits there. We got the Muppets here. If you haven't watched the Muppet Show, it is awesome. It makes you feel like the Muppet Show from what we had as kids. In 1080p, so it's better in 4K. No doubt about that. But I thought they did a great job, and NECA is coming out, right on the heels and saying, hey, you know what? Let's do some of these. These were obviously in production before, that thing was probably even greenlit. But I think people are going to love this. This is one of those things. Again, the Muppets I think they're always going to be something. I have the old guys right over here from the old, I forget who made them. Oh, Diamond Select, actually. So, Andrew Taylor jumping and saying, Big Mac killed by Sid and Marty Krofft lawsuit. Yeah. And then we have Broby Kenobi. How come Ronald McDonald wasn't in the first wave? I want to do a cage match between Ronald and the creepy Burger King. The same reason why Scooby-Doo wasn't in the first wave of the NECA Scooby-Doo. Some of these toy companies, they I guess they know, like, you're going to get Ronald McDonald. They know that a Scooby-Doo line, you're going to get Scooby-Doo. But it's hard to argue. Hard to argue what you're saying. But I think it's safe to say that you definitely will get a Ronald McDonald, especially from NECA. I mean, they've been around for quite quite some time. They're not going anywhere. And we have Cobra Commander jumping saying that oldie, I'm your Muppet. Hella Geek jumping in here also. There is Miss Piggy. I'm not going to try and talk like Miss Piggy, although I think we all have a Miss Piggy voice. And probably completely slaughters anything that is close to me what Miss Piggy sounds like. Krusty says Ronald McDonald is the illegitimate father of Wendy. There's a whole drama in fast food. So Dave's not her dad, is what you're saying. Pee Wee Herman, again, if you like Pee Wee, they've done a bunch of Pee Wee Herman figures. It looks like this is another new Pee Wee Herman. So get it if you want it. And then we have Grover. There's Grover. And Oscar the Grouch is going to sell. Who doesn't want Oscar the Grouch sitting on their desk, if you have a desk, to let people know to scram? Or who's not going to buy Oscar the Grouch for someone who is super grumpy at their fucking office that you know will probably piss them off? So there you go. And then the Friday the 13th, the game Pamela Shrine diorama. I never played the game. I do think that this thing is actually pretty cool. It lights up, so you get the candles in the back. You have this mummified Pamela. You have a rotting corpse there. Again, I think NECA, they do some pretty cool stuff, and this would be one of them. So there you go. And if you want this, it should be going up anytime soon, if it's not up already. But I think this would be great for a diorama piece. Shit in the background. Allison says, this is from part 2, and I'm getting this. It's supposed to be from the game. At least that's what it said. I don't know. I thought I kind of remember this too. That I know he had did he have the head in the refrigerator? He had a head or something. I don't know. Friday the 13th, the video game. Savani Jason, have no idea. I had to do research and make sure that I had the right Jasons. We have Ultimate Jason Takes Manhattan, and it does look like what I Googled to find Jason Takes Manhattan. And then we get Jason Goes to Hell, where, yeah, his mask and head really do look like that. So if you are interested, there you go. And then we get a couple new, 3 new Ben Coopers. These are the Star Trek. Now there were a few other that got dropped after I did the slides, and I didn't care. I wasn't going to add them. So here we have Spock, which it looks like Spock. He has this little bag. I like the Ben Cooper. I wish they were scaled a little bit smaller so they could fit with kids in your displays and everything. But they're a little tall for, I know what a lot of people tend to like. Here's a Klingon. They all have the same bag too. It would be nice if they all had different bags, and they've done that in the past. And then we get Kirk. Rumor is if you wear a Kirk mask, you will end up banging a green chick. Just saying. I don't make up the rules. There you go. 4 Horsemen. I told you there's a lot of news. This is the role-playing heroic wizard figure. $29.99 right now, or will be $29.99. And these are army builders. So there will be other figures or other accessory sets that go with this, so you can change the character. I do think that this looks really good. I think something actually may have shown up. Graph, I saw you earlier and then I didn't mention you. There wasn't any Jason X here. So if there was, I totally missed it. But they just showed those 3 off. So those kids get no candy on Halloween. But we talked about two of the other ones. Someone said the fourth figure probably won't be shown off to the Kickstarter either goes live, something like that. Again, I don't know why this is a Kickstarter. This was talked about last night on Toyleet with Mr. Wonderful and Action Figs, and I don't understand the whole Kickstarter thing here. They already do a pre-order where it takes anywhere from 12 to 18 months to get figures. They know that people are going to buy it, even though it's considered a role-playing game. These fit in with the Mythic Legion. So I don't know why they're doing a Kickstarter for this. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. They're going to have the money ahead of time before they even do the tooling. And let's be honest, a lot of this tooling is already shared. So to me, it doesn't make a lot of sense. But the figure looks amazing. So if you are into this, it should be going up. So Krusty says, if they are for an RPG, maybe they come with special rule cards, and that's why. Again, Matthew, no Kickstarters for established companies. And yeah. And supposedly they talked about it, saying that, they get publicity for I don't know how you're getting more publicity. You're the Four Horsemen. You can do your own publicity. You know how to do this stuff. I don't get it. I don't see how doing a Kickstarter, which will take some money. I mean, they take money out because, again, like YouTube, they're not running shit for fucking free. But hey, it is what it is. You're still getting the figure, so enjoy it. Brick says these are for the upcoming Mythic Legions set RPG using D&D 5e. They're doing it as a Kickstarter because they're not just reaching existing Four Horsemen collectors. They want the RPG Kickstarter. Again, they have the money to fucking promote it. Don't tell, I'm sorry, you can't tell me that the fucking promotion on Kickstarter can be better than what you could invest your money into. And they have the money. Okay? That's all that I'm saying. Crash jumping in and saying, Lawrence, what's up, dude? Nolan. All right. This is, okay, so this, oh man. Yeah, this is a hard one. And I understand what people say about HasLabs. It's a way to guarantee getting something large. I don't really mind what Mattel does with their Mattel creations when they do it. I understand the HasLab. They don't want to lose money. No one does. I fully understand that. But yeah. And Brick here says RPG people don't necessarily know Four Horsemen. Again, there are different markets. Advertise in those markets. That's what I'm saying. You have the money to do it. It's not about having the money for marketing. Kickstarter is literally filled with people who are there to back RPGs. And again, I'm assuming there are other ways. I'm just saying, just my opinion, they're an established company. But they already do a Kickstarter form anyway. They really do. Anyway, my opinion. All right, my opinion. This is, and again, Brick, you'll understand this. I know Matthew understands this. This is what happens when you get invested in a community and you get to know people, right? You start to give people leeway that shouldn't have leeway, but you give them leeway, or sometimes you don't give them leeway, is all that I'm saying. And I've done it too. So it's not like I'm not just yelling at you. I've done it too. It makes it difficult. That's why early on, when I said when you get stuff for free and you do reviews, people look at it and they think, hey, you know what? It's hard for, it's hard for me to, listen to your opinion because I don't think it's unbiased. All right. So there we go. DC and Mattel. I had to do this. All right. So these are their core figures. All right. These are 6-inch figures for children at a $12.95 price point. And I gotta say this, they look pretty good. For being for children, they look pretty good with pretty good articulation. And for a $12.95 price point, it's hard to argue that. Here we have Batman. All right. Cloth capes. All right. So we don't have the hard plastic. Hell, the cloth cape is probably cheaper than the fucking hard plastic. Now, you don't have wire cape. But it makes me think that when you get to the collector series, you probably will have wire capes, probably will look, I'm hoping they look better. But for $13, these look pretty damn good. It's going to be hard to, it's going to be hard to, it's hard for me to criticize this. Yeah, this here, he's a red figure. He has some yellow, some white, and obviously, his face. But again, for that price point, very hard to be upset about. Joker, actually a little bit more on him. Here we have John Stewart, the Green Lantern. So these are all the core figures. We have not seen what their collectors are going to look like. Matt O'Brien says, and these are pinless. Looking at you, McFarlane. Yes, M. Hatfield. That Flash looks great for the price point. So, again, does this mean that when we see the collector one, it's going to? I mean, they're going to knock him out of the park. Here we have a Batman. Again, you got to have lots of Batman. And again, really good price for core figures. The fact that we haven't even got to see what their collector figures are is going to be completely different. And Brick says, yes, these are looking good. Mattel stepping it up between these, K-pop Demon Hunters, and Motu. They clearly want to grab more of the toy pie than they have. Yes, I agree. So I think if the core is looking like this, we are in for something good with the collect, and they need to. They cannot come out looking like McFarlane figures, especially when you see this. These already look better than McFarlane. So this here, from what I can gather, this is the Crime Crusher Batman, which is $37.79. And again, their sense is really weird why they're even coming out with it. And this is I think like a 12-inch figure. But his head does pop open again. This is supposed to be for the core. And you can see the childness in them, is what I mean, like the kiddish stuff. But really, they look pretty good. Superman with some actual eye blasts, with some kryptonite chains. But this was the one that got me. They said, fuck you, Todd. Fuck you, Todd. We can Jokerize shit too. And they even give them different Jokerized faces. So you want to Jokerize your Robin? You want to Jokerize your Flash or your other Batman? There you go. They've already Jokerized it. Like, they came out fucking swinging, Jokerizing shit. They didn't fucking wait like Todd did. How much shit can they Jokerize? I honestly, I thought that we were done with Jokerizing. I thought like Jokerizing was done. I was like, there's no way. They'll eventually do it, but there's no way they're going right into the Jokerized shit. Nope. And here's the other head sculpt, so you can Jokerize more. All right. So this is the Batman, from my understanding, that comes with the Batmobile for $43.19. Once again, I don't know where they're getting these price points from. So we can see how Batman sits in it. It looks pretty good. A decent, again, this is when you look at it like, yeah, this is a kid's toy. All right. It doesn't look bad, but it definitely has some kid toy etiquette to it. And it opens up. Why would it open up, you say? Well, that's because there's a Robin on a Robin cycle. And Batman, who doesn't give two shits about child safety, said, "Hey, Robin, I not only do I want you to ride this motorcycle helmetless, I'm gonna stick you in the front of my fucking car." But again, I think that this is what they should be doing. This is good. This is fun. Hopefully, this brings kids into it. This is what everyone keeps saying. Hey, kids aren't playing with toys. Well, this is giving you a price point. Parents will buy for it. Hopefully, these kids see the video games. They want to play with this stuff. It looks fun. That's what toys are supposed to be fun even now for us at 50 years old, right? That's why I don't understand inbox collectors. You can collect any way you want. I want to open my toys. I want to do photography. I want to do setups, displays. That's why you see these guys that are, customizing all this stuff. It's supposed to be fun. And this here, in my opinion, is fun. Woo! All right. That's the first slides. Now I have Mezco to get through. I have Mezco. I didn't talk anything about Marvel Legends. We're going to get to that. And then we have G.I. Joe at the end. We're trying to get through it fairly quickly, but there's a good amount to get through. But I need a quick break. And what you guys need is to know what's going on for tomorrow.
Idiots! Incompetent buffoons! What is it now, Commander? Consummate morons, incapable of coherent thought! Are you watching that show again? Yes. Why didn't you just watch Pop Blender and Matthew's discussions, news, reviews before the show came out? Whether you agree or disagree, the perspectives provide enough context to know if the show or movie is worth your time or not. Yes, I know. I will not miss another Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central on Pop Blender's channel. Be more than once a man by watching Pop Blender and Matthew talk about pop culture news, discussions, and reviews on Tuesday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. And now you know. Televiper, be sure to hit like, share, and subscribe so we do not miss another episode, and hit that bell notification.
All right, Mezco here, and Matthew says, Mezco Splinter. I didn't put Splinter in because it's TMNT. But at the same time, I've already put stuff in there for Turtles. Mezco is getting the Thundercats line. Now, I think this is very exciting for a lot of people. We'll actually have Thundercats with more articulation, although Mezco has their limitations when it comes to articulation, but they are not like Ultimates. I did see Toy Gaines talk about this, or he made a post about it, and I kind of have to agree with him. I forget what he mentioned, 2 lines. I don't remember, or 2 properties. I don't remember what the first property was, but the other one was G.I. Joe, and they just stopped doing the G.I. Joe line, and this is worrisome. Like, if you start buying Lion-O and Panthro and like stuff, and then they just stop doing it, then you're stuck not having even the full array of the main characters. And at the price point that they're going to be charging, that's scary. So, but just know, if you really want what's going to be a good looking Thundercat, I'm assuming this is it. They have a Robin coming. So the Batman, the animated series, they've been going down the animated series road. Here we go. You're going to get a Robin. You're getting Gangsters. So Gangsters Inc., the big fat dude. I have no idea who the hell he is. But we're going to be getting him. And then we have this here.
Who is it? It's me, Snakes. I got the figures. Leave them on the doorstep and get the hell out of here. All right, Johnny, but what about my money? What money? Action said 10%. Too bad Action ain't in charge no more. What do you mean? He's upstairs taking a bath. He'll call you when he gets out. Hey, I'll tell you what I'm gonna give you, Snakes. I'm gonna give you to the count of 10 to get your ugly, yellow, no good keister over to a Punk with Toys punkathon before I pump your guts full of lead. All right, Johnny, I'm sorry. I'm going. 1, 2, 10. Keep the change, you filthy animal.
So I saw this and I knew, hey, I've seen this somewhere. Gangsters Incorporated. This is the Franklin Sparky Foreman. This is the hard-boiled edition. Now it is on the wait list, so if you didn't have it, or if you didn't order it, you got to get on the wait list. I have heard good things. I've heard bad things about the wait list from Mezco, but that's the only way you can get it now. Anything that is, especially anything that is the Mezco property, if you don't buy it right away, you're probably not going to get it. So Franklin here, and it seriously looks great. Ed is saying, hey, oh, wow, that looks like my ex's dad. Oh, sorry. That was wrong person. As Allison. Excited for the gangsters. Yeah, these look really good. And again, I did remember, I'm like, I know that from somewhere. I'm like, oh yeah, Ed did the Punkathon commercial. So if you are looking for the gangsters, if you're into this, if you don't have one, go get on the wait list. Hopefully you'll get it. You're looking at $116, another $20 to ship it. It's unfortunate. So you are looking at $130, $136 figure, no matter how. If you don't have a Mezco and you want to say, hey, I cannot believe that a figure can be worth over $100, that is that's the hobby. There are some scales that are. Here's the thing that I will tell you about the Mezco property. Their own property, and Ed, Matthew, tell me if I'm wrong. Other guys, they don't go down in price. If anything, they go up in price. So, if you are interested, get on the wait list. You can see everything. Now, I've heard other people say it, and I'm glad. Sometimes Mezco manipulates it. Their pictures, as great as their photography is. And I know D Amazing has also done photography for them. That's why he gets a lot of the figures very early. I feel like if you're doing photography, you're willing to make adjustments. Matthew, I meant the actual Mezco property, not their other figures like Marvel and stuff like that. And with that said, I don't know how Destro ever went on sale. They must have ordered so many, and why everyone doesn't buy it when it's $50. I don't get it. But this looks really good. And you do get some actual smoking characters. I know I have it with the guy that came with the Death Adder. That's it. But there you go. If you want them, go look for them. If you don't have it, let's say you really like this figure, I would say just hold out and wait for it to come back up. Make sure you go get on Mezco's site and make sure you get the emails, because there will be another one of these coming. They put out multiple figures, and we'll see this in a second. So here's everything that he's come with. 3 different head sculpts, all these different hands. You get the proper Mezco stand that also is a flight stand, your Tommy gun, your pistol, different smoking, different cigarettes, all smoking. They give you extra, in my opinion, because they know you might lose some stuff. Multiple magazines, lots of money, stuff like that. I cannot believe this thing is already on the wait list. So the first Rumbler that took forever for me to get was up for quite some time. This one was on the wait list, I think that day. $325. It does have a different character. It does not come with, doesn't come with Death Adder. It comes with a completely different character. This is the Desert Edition, and I think this one looks better than the one that I have. I did not order it because I was not going to spend another $325 on this, but I think it looks so much better. I really like the weather effect. The thing with my Rumbler is it's all black, and I mean it is all black. This one here, you actually have different weathering. You have the black accents to it. Unfortunately, we're still going to have the basic dashboard, which isn't going to look nearly as good. So, but yeah, this is one of those things. Self-Present says they haven't done multiples of any of the gangsters as of yet. They're often different in some ways. No, they're almost something's always a little different. I'm just saying, if like, hey, I really like that figure. Obviously, they did the other one because, you know, Ed has it. All right, so here's the figure that you're gonna get. I forget what his name is. I lied. I don't even know what his name is. Someone will tell me. You see that gun right there? That's the gun that the stock broke. That came with Duke, and they said we'll send you another one, and they never did. So again, fuck you, Mezco. You still haven't made me happy about that. So, but this is the exact same vehicle. I really do like the vehicle, and I know Bobby B said he sold his Death Adder for, I think, for $150. So if you're looking to get this, you're like, I really don't want the character, you're roughly going to sell him for about $150. So take that off the Rumbler, and you're looking at $175 Rumbler, which isn't an awful price, but yeah, it's it's definitely one of those things. It's still pretty pricey, and I do have an issue with the dashboard not having any type of paint on it at all. So, but here's everything that you're going to get with it. It does have a working winch. It has lights on the outside. It has lights on the inside, which is really good for photography. Tail lights light up and everything. But again, you're spending a good amount of nice chunk of change on it. All right. 7 access points, secret storage compartment for heavy artillery, top weapons, powered working winch, modular design, and much more. I can tell you this, that the little bin to hold the weapons doesn't really hold a lot. Doesn't hold a lot at all. So, but yeah, this is, again, okay, this is Commander Gomez. I don't mind the figure. I just don't really care for the head. Like, I don't care for that bug look. Where Death Adder looks way different and is way cooler. But that's just me. All right. I'm telling you right now, if you don't have Destro, you find it for $50, buy it. It is, yeah. You will not regret it. All right. So here it is. If you want it, $325, get on the wait list. All right. Doc Nocturnal. The Red Death Edition, $135. It is on the wait list. Remember earlier, if you were watching from the beginning, I said I'm cutting back. I have to make some decisions. I did not make the decision on this. I ordered this. I wanted the last Doc Nocturnal. It went up. I totally missed it. Ed and I actually talked about it that day, and he was like, "Yeah, I didn't order it, but it's because I missed it." This one, I believe, glows in the dark. I could not find any. I believe it glows in the dark. I believe the face sculpt, the mask glows in the dark. I could be wrong. I couldn't find any documentation where it said that it did. But I wanted this figure. So I ordered it. I'll never have to worry about another Doc Nocturnal because I have one that'll make me happy. he just looks badass. He is super cool. I think he can be used with Cobra. He can be used in G.I. Joe. He can be used with Marvel Legends. I can use him with Star Wars. He could be battling, my Maximum Deadpool. I just think this figure looks fun. He's not he's not a crustacean. He's not a cockroach. Just something, in my opinion, that makes him look like a lot of fun. But yeah, on the wait list, if you want it, you're looking at $160 some after taxes and shipping. That was a hard pill to swallow, but in the end, it made me happy. It is already preparing to ship. Hopefully I'll get it. But yeah, but this is fun. Abbott says, use this figure from Marvel's The Hood. You could, I guess. I don't know anything about The Hood, so I wouldn't. A lot of their stuff, 100% honest, a lot of their stuff that, a lot of the stuff that you see, there are homages to other characters and other lines. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. So, but I saw this and I went back and forth quickly, and I went, you know what? I wanted the last one. I'm gonna get this one. Call it a day. So, you have the 2 different masks. So if I want white, all the different hands. Once again, the Mezco stands. As much as I hate Mezco for the whole fucking debacle with the Rumbler, and obviously with Duke, man, I do have a love-hate with them for sure. But yeah. And here we go. All the accessories that come with it. Oh boy. And it sounds, are Joe's coming up anytime this hour? Depends on how fast I get through the Marvel Legends. Marvel Legends actually would probably be pretty quick, to be honest, because we talked about them on Circle of Jerks. So I have Marvel Legends and then G.I. Joe. I promise. We have a lot to talk about with G.I. Joe. And yeah, this is going much longer than what I had kind of thought that it would. Jeremy Kimberlin jumping in saying, smash that like button. Thank you very much. Shelf Preston says the Doc Knock line is very cool. I love all the different looks. The snow one would look good with a snowcat. Bees Battleground. I'm just saying, if you are listening on the replay, or maybe you're listening in your car right now, I don't know what you're doing. Did you hear that? B literally just asked if we know anyone that wants one, because he ordered it, that and the Yeti. So he might want to keep it now. But anyway, they would actually be Punkathon 3. Although it'd be the second one, it'd be the third one on the name Punkathon. So I didn't do any Motu stuff because I already talked about it, and I have such a hard time figuring out what fucking is new on Motu. Anyway, we have Absorbing Man. So this whole wave went up last Tuesday. So we have Absorbing Man. I'm probably going to pick this guy up and make him into my version 2 of Dr. Mindslaughter. A couple hands, 2 different head sculpts. They said because different, one has eyebrows, one doesn't. I know nothing about this guy other than he was on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I believe it was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. His Wrecking Ball, and again, this is Secret Wars, so he gets the square shield. There he is there. Here we have Constrictor. I know nothing about Constrictor. He looks decent. I like the colors. Someone did mention he might make a pretty good, if you're a classified collector, he might work pretty well being used as a Cobra Law member. And they're absolutely correct. And that made me go, maybe I'll get him if I find him on clearance. I won't be upset if I miss this guy. He gets a shield. There's a box for him. And then we have Magic. I have no interest. I think she actually looks pretty good. You do have the yellow and black X. I believe she's X Factor, but someone can tell me. She does have the metallic or the robotic arm. I know nothing about the character. Her sword, and again, it looks like she can get some pretty good poses. I'm still not a huge fan of this waist cut that they use because I feel like they don't get a huge they don't get a lot of articulation, and we've talked about this before. Yes, it's Colossus' sister. Oh, she's a New Mutants. Okay. Yeah, I know. Some guys like it, some guys don't. Kitty Pryde's BFF. All right. This is Spider-Man changing into the symbiote Spider-Man. Now, this is one of those ones where I like this idea. I probably won't get it. Spec said, hey, this was for one pose, and that is this pose. But again, if you use your imagination, you can figure out other things. This is just trying to find a different take on Spider-Man. What can they do that they haven't done already? I have no problem with them. I applaud them for trying to do something different. But if you are huge into the story, this is something you just want on your shelf, and that's the only pose you may ever want, is him getting taken over by the symbiote. And there he is, the alien costume. This is technically Spider-Man becoming blackface. And then we get a classic Falcon. And the more I saw this, the more I started to really like this. Gun Bunny, she has steel cheeks. Shockwave says, I'm about to buy this Destro, but I'm hoping it sells out before I get the courage. That Destro has been sitting around for like 2 years. It took me 2 years to get it. I'm telling you right now, if you are looking at that Mezco Destro, you are not going to regret it. All right? I'm just saying, you're not going to regret it. It is a good fucking figure. And that stupid, the yelling face, the one that I said I'll never use, is probably the one I use on it the most. Yes, it was worth $110 when I bought it. So it is well worth $65. I've just seen it as low as 50 at times. It is well worth it. All right. So Falcon here. They give him a Falcon. They talked about I think it's Redbird, actually. I don't know. But they give him his bird. And there is a hook on the bottom that actually they said comes off. So you don't have to see it if you don't want it. They give him the wings so he can fly. There's a shield. And I think this actually looks good. The more I saw it, the more I liked it. This is my issue. I think every figure should have a trigger finger. He has flying hands. He has punchy hands. Every character, other than like Mythic Legions, should have trigger fingers. Mythic Legions shouldn't because they're not going to be holding guns. But I need a hand that allows you to hold things. At least the thumb wrestling hand. Right? You need to have it. And then you get to Daredevil. And this was the star of the group. I think we all agree. Except for the one guy on one of the Marvel Legends groups that tried to say that they literally stole my picture of I did this pose. Only Daredevil's done this pose 1,000 times in the comics. But yeah. This is a must. This is a must for me. I just want a regular Daredevil. I have the tracksuit one, and I have an MCU one. But I like this one. I think this looks really good. It's a good buck. So it's one of the ones I did definitely order. And there's everything that he comes with. All right. We get this. This goes on sale March 18th. There is a lot of shit going up tomorrow, just so you know, for G.I. Joe at least. $55.99. This is the new price point. If you do not have the Black Widow Target exclusive on the super articulated buck, this is the same buck. This is probably the best female buck that Marvel Legends has ever made. It is awesome. This figure is really good. I don't think this one looks as good as the Target exclusive. But if you don't have that one and you're like, hey, I want that figure, this is the one to get. And the Quicksilver doesn't look bad, but I'm not super into it. So I will probably be passing on this because I don't need another Black Widow that comes with less accessories. All right. But this buck, I've talked about it. Tony's talked about it. I think we talked about it on the Circle of Jerks on Tuesday when we went over this stuff. This buck is so good. Quicksilver looks good. I like the color scheme, but I don't think I want this 2-pack, but I may change when I see it in hand at Sergeant Reds and be like, yep, let's pick this up here. Have you seen the Target window prices on eBay? Crazy. I don't know what you're talking about. But anyway, here you go. Now, this is what they did right. 2 yelling faces and 2 regular faces. This is what they should have done with Crazy Legs. Boom. Anyway, you get 2 fists. Again, both these figures, I cannot hold anything. Then I don't know why you're not giving her the holding hands. She has guns. So why? That I don't get. Okay, Abbott says, oh, we're talking hands. Classified should give us 2 sets of hands standard, 1 pair that bends blade to thumb, and a pair that bends palm to dorsal. That way, Joes can always hold their weapons. I don't need too many hands. I've said this numerous times. That it's good at first, and then it starts building up. Right? If you end up with too many hands, I don't have a problem with knives when it's being held in a trigger finger. I know a lot of people don't like that. They want the thumb wrestling hands. I don't have a problem with that. I like to have multiple hands, but not for every single figure. And that's just me. Eventually, it just becomes a big pile of them, and you're trying to figure out who they go to. All right. This was the big one. Muse and Bullseye, March 4th, $59.99. Again, you look at these characters, and you can use these with, Jedge or Classified if you're classified, right? There is a lot of blood on this, which was kind of shocking when you look at what they did here. Muse, I know nothing about other than what I saw him in Daredevil Born Again, but he is a sadistic motherfucker. A bloodied bat, bloodied hands. He's got blood on his shirt. But again, if you're just a G.I. Joe guy, how can you not just look at this and go, yep, this could fit in with my Cobras? I could figure this out. I don't even have to change his name. He's fucking Cobra Muse, right? And he looks good. I think most people, Billy Boy's Toys, he says, I love this. I love this pack. Krusty O'Crow grabbing this. Yeah, like this, again, this is really, really good. And again, I can do so much stuff. A nice little backpack. He's got a spray paint. And then we get the Bullseye. Once again, he also has blood because blood on his knife, blood on an axe. 2 different head sculpts, so you can change things around if need be. Here's the big one, and I haven't heard anyone say this. If you want the classic Cobra rifle, there it is. Now, I don't know if this is a reuse. Someone else that's been into Marvel Legends longer than I have, they could probably tell you, but that is the classic Cobra rifle if you want it. Yes, I know he paints his victims with blood. It had to be a Pulse exclusive. I guess you can just say that it's blood. But yeah. But I just think this one is awesome. I think they nailed it with this. I think people are really gonna like it. It is the Daredevil 2-pack. I don't know why they're doing. Are they doing Daredevil figures? I guess maybe they're just trying to lump them in there with their comics. So Onslaught Target exclusive comes out in fall, $39.99. This is a straight repaint from what I can tell of the other one. I've already seen people trying to sell the other one at a high price and people just dogging them. Listen, if you are going to sell something because you think that a new one is coming, you have to do it before it's shown off. Because who the fuck other than completists who probably already have it are going to buy it? I love this figure. I love the reds and purples. It has that Magneto look, that Magneto feel to it. I absolutely love this. This thing pops. So, what classic Cobra rifle, like the one with the trooper, like the one the trooper came with? The original Cobra, the original Cobra Trooper had that rifle. The O-ring figure. They have a version of it came with the Cobra Trooper. But if you want a classic one, that's it right there. So yeah, if you want this Onslaught, I'll be getting it. Nope. And again, I understand that. That's what I'm saying. Like, but the other Onslaught, all the pictures, he is dulled down. That's what I'm saying. They're dulled down. I like the way this pops, and it pops like some of the other Magnetos that I've seen. So I'm excited for this one. And it's on. I don't care for the giant card. Like, this card is huge. I think that the classified retro card is too big. This thing is way bigger than that too. So, okay, X-Men 97 Archangel, March 25th, $39.99. I did not get the other one. I am all in on the Marvel 97 figures, and I've always liked Archangel. He's so much cooler than Angel. Not Angel and Buffy, but Angel. So I'm all in on this one. He's got the tuner forks, and I like the idea that they said, hey, if you don't want the giant wings taking up space, here you go. You can have this. You can throw it up there. This guy looks, I really do like him. And I believe it is pretty much a repaint, although the wings, I think, are different. Abbott says, I never got the Build-A-Figure question. Question is, did they change any articulation to be cheap asses? I don't think they changed anything. At least not from someone posted a picture about, should I sell this one and get the new one? And they were pointing out the things that were different. And from what I could tell, the only thing that was different was the paint. But someone that has it, they could probably look at it and tell you a little bit better than me. Lego Star Wars Kid says Archangel is the only one I might get. Oh man. Okay, so this is a new body update. Okay. Yeah, I'm with you, Super Dad. Like, I love this. But I've always liked Archangel. I just think he looks really good. Definitely need a flight stand for this. So, but you get a couple hands, different heads. I'm kind of rewatching X-Men 97, and I believe that the 97 figures also encompass that they can do anyone from the X-Men animated series. They would be stupid not to, considering it's a continuation. They're just called that. Yeah, he comes with this gun, and I'm assuming either it'll be used in the next series, or I don't remember if it was used in it. So, but there you go. Iron Spider, Aaron Davis. I have no idea who this figure is. Comes out February 18th for the pre-order. I know nothing about this character. It looks like to be the exact same. I think it's the same buck that the Iron Spider was. So if you want it, there you go. It says now we need the other three horsemen. You are absolutely correct. That's one of those things they definitely should do. All right, Deluxe Smart Hulk. Now, I've seen people already mention like, hey, people are asking the question, should I get Maximum Hulk or should I buy this? Again, Maximum Hulk has been the most fun figure that I have played with all year. I've had so much fun with that. People have complained about the chest. I have had no ripping of the chest. Bobby B said his little daughter, plays with that figure all the time. He's had no issues. I could see it ripping if you don't take care of it. I don't have a problem with it. But here is Deluxe Smart Hulk, and someone pointed out the green is the same as Maximum Hulk. So if it is, that means you can have two extra face sculpts for the Maximum Hulk, which probably forced me to buy this. Pretty much just for that. I don't understand the slippers. Maybe someone else can tell me. He has a bullet belt. He has, I don't know, a blow dryer. So, but this was one of the things shown off at Toy Fair. And then we finally get to Maximum Thor, February 25th, $55.99. I've been waiting for a Maximum Thor. I do wish he had more of the classic colors, but I really do like this. I've heard people already complaining about it. I've heard people arguing that that they would rather have a the spinning hammer than a cloth cape with wire. I think these should have probably also had the spinning hammer because they already had it, but no, cloth capes all the way with wires. You can do so much more, and they just look better. Okay. So here's everything that he's going to come with. I have them out of order, clearly, because I always like to put this in at the end. But you're going to get 3 different face sculpts, face plates, all right? And they fit in the hair or the helmet. You have the hammer here that is already pinned to the fist so he can fly. And he has just the handle so it can go into his back and not look all lumpy. They literally talked about that. But yeah. Yes, no chin. Yeah. People complaining. Unheard of. I know. But I like it. And it's something that I'm going to pick up for sure. I have been waiting for the Maximum Hulk, Maximum Thor. Again, I think that I do think the classic color scheme probably would have been a little bit better, but I like the Maximum series. I know a lot of people don't. I'm all for it. Could it be a little bit better? Yeah, sure. I think everything could be a little bit better, but I'm pretty happy with what I have with the three that I have so far. So, Drock said, I said it before, but the head sculpt looks like a blonde Conan. I can see it. For me, again, I was never a Thor fan till literally the Thor movie and Chris Hemsworth, right? I have a hard time seeing Thor and not seeing Chris Hemsworth. But at the same time, I don't want Chris Hemsworth as my comic Thor, if that makes sense, right? Just me. And then we get Throg, is that his name? Thor Frog with his little hammer. This is cute. They're kind of doing some, this is now the second one in the Maximum series that they've done. Again, I think this is fun. It just gives you something extra. So, and then he gets a horn. I forget what the horn is. But there you go. If you want Maximum Hulk, it's coming up. And G.I. Joe is on another slide. Whew. All right. A lot of G.I. Joe shit. This is going to be a 4 fucking hour show. This is fucking nuts. But yeah, we're going to get to G.I. Joe. But quickly, I need to take a quick breather because I'm the one doing all the talking. Go figure.
Fired? Have you recently lost your job with a major toy manufacturer? Tariffs got you down? You may be entitled to sharing your story on a major media streaming outlet. We want you to dish the dirt. Call Circle of Jerks at 900-555-0979. We will exploit you for our personal gain. That number again is 900-555-0979. Circle of Jerks. Every client gets a cookie.
All right, the G.I. Joe, and we will get to classified. There is some other stuff before we got to get to classified, and that is because we have a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, G.I. Joe, a real reptilian hero. We talked about this on the Circle of Jerks. We talked about it on this show. Some of us, I was one of them, wasn't sure if it was real or not. It's real. It's real. So here we have Cobra Commander crossover with Shredder. It looks just like Shredder in blue. Donatello as Dial Tone. I think this works. He has a really creepy mustache. He has the beret. He really looks French. Oui, oui. We have Snake Eyes as Leonardo. I guess that makes total sense right there, as he does wield the swords. Storm Shadow as Slash. I know who Slash is. Once again, Storm Shadow is not Cobra. He is G.I. Joe. I'm ready for some Tiger Force Turtles and Python Patrol Foot Clan. The saddest part is, I think you probably are. Carlos Lena says, reptilian. I thought turtles were amphibians. Dude, the turtles in a half shell. We got Ripper as Bebop. We got Roadblock as Ralph. I'm not really sure on that one. I think most people kind of agree. I'm not really sure about that one. Shipwreck as Mikey. And again, I'm not a huge Shipwreck fan, as most of you know, but I guess it does work because of the nunchucks and everything. Jay Soloward saying, I hear you. I hear with you, Larry. Power through it until the end. Hey, you guys waited for it. I knew it was gonna be long. I didn't think it was gonna take this damn long to get through. But who am I kidding, right? Buzzer as Rocksteady. This one creeps me the fuck out. Destro as Krang. It makes sense. And if you go look at Baldylocks Reviews, his Instagram, he literally put the side-by-side of all the original artwork of the G.I. Joes, and that's what they recreated. It was way too, in my opinion, too much work, but he wanted to. Scarlet as April is probably the one that makes the most sense. Here's the All Striker, and I know it's coming. This looks better than the classified one. It does not, but it does look more like the original one, if that's the look you were going for. It does have the classic gun on it. It can actually hold the turtles. The wheels are the same size. It looks like RC. This is one of the, look, there it is. Matt O'Brien. Finally, an All Striker that we deserve. See? No General Hawk Splinter. Who's to say they're completely done? I've never liked Shipwreck, and I have lots of them. I've just never cared for the character. My dad was in the Navy. I never liked Shipwreck. I think he was an awful character in the cartoon. That's what I can say about that. So here's the box with the all shell striker with 4-wheel suspension and Scarlet April. And then we have the Turtle Fly Copter. There's your Tiger Force there, Gun Bunny. There it is right there. Um, over 20 what long? Over 20 inches long. Okay. I'm looking at it. I'm like, it looks like it says 20 feet. I'm like, that ain't 20 fucking feet long. Um, um, but anyway, so here was all of them actually. So this was like, just so you know, they're real. Here's everything. If you are interested, this is not for me. This is what I will say about it. If this gets kids to go buy G.I. Joe Classify, if this means the dad walks by and says, "Oh, hey, you love turtles, man. I used to have G.I. Joe," and it makes kids get into G.I. Joe, awesome. I applaud it. That is what I hope for, because I want the G.I. Joe line to continue on and on, even after I am long gone. Yeah, the parentheses were so small, it looks like it says FT. That's why I was trying to go, yeah, it doesn't. It can't be 20 feet long or 20 inches, it can't be 20 or 20 feet. 20 inches, all right. So even that's big, man. That's really fucking big. Now this is what I didn't notice, is that there is a timber, right? So does Snake Eyes come with timber? Because I noticed this kind of going through it, or did they just find some sort of wolf and throw it in there? Because people might buy it just for the wolf. But anyway, there you go. All right. We talked about these last week also. These are just better productions. We got the Super 7 Hydro Viper. We get Flash with a flock of seagulls' hair. Again, these are digital renders. We got Chuckles. And then we got Diana. So I know people are interested in these. I'll be interested to see them. Again, I did not buy anything sight unseen when it comes to Super 7. The SDCC Leo Snake Eyes comes with timber, I believe. Oh, okay. Then that is, I did not see that or read that, but again, this took me a long time. It really did. Okay, exclusive one comes with timber. See, I would be interested in that just for the wolf. So, anyway, clearly I said her name wrong. That it is Dina, or Dinah, whatever it is. I don't give a shit. She's a fucking Russian. All right. This I am actually interested in. I'm not going to lie. This is a different Cobra Commander. I do remember this being in the comic for a very short bit. That this was supposed to be the comic figure, Cobra Commander, and comic book. This is what they've talked about doing. This is what they should do. I feel like, once again, this is where now they should give us better. This is where they should give us better articulation, but giving us a new version of this Cobra Commander that was seen before is right on. That's exactly what they should do. So I'm interested in this, and I might pick this one up. All right. On to the limited edition, limited G.I. Joe reaction stands. Now, according to one site, it said that this is up on Entertainment Earth. I can't find these anywhere, so I don't think they're up there. I think they will be. This is not Chuckles. This is Duke. I am not the only one that thought it was Chuckles, for the record. But they're giving you the 250th United States anniversary figures. Disco Duke. You know, dude, I thought it was Chuckles. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this one. Lady J, she looks fine. Again, just another repaint. Now, I do like this Falcon. Now, I do like this Falcon. I like the color scheme. I do like the way it looks. Once again, now, I don't know why Super 7 would put the grip on that shotgun just because it's on the toy. It really doesn't exist. It shouldn't be there. But I do like this Falcon, and I can openly admit it. This is one that I would be interested in. But again, I won't buy anything sight unseen, so I'll probably never get it. And then it's just Snake Eyes. Another Snake Eyes. God knows we get lots of Snake Eyes. All right, but this is what you guys have waited 3 hours for. And there are 85 people. So if you haven't yet, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I like to say that I don't always spend this long to get to the main G.I. Joes, but I would just be fucking lying. All right, Target exclusive up tomorrow, February 17th. That is 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There will be a limited amount on Hasbro Pulse. I can't wait to hear the people lose their shit that they didn't get it on Hasbro Pulse. And why do I have Pulse Premium? Blah, 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 blah. Oh, it's going to be fucking awesome. We'll get to talk about it tomorrow on the Circle of Jerks. Anyway, Ninja Zartan. We have seen actual pictures of this in hand. He's already hit. I actually think he looks better than I had originally thought. I was out. By the time Ninja Force came out, I was long gone. Get ready for it. Ninja Force. There's much more Ninja Force coming this year, just so you know. But I think this actually looks pretty good. Campbell Road jumping in and saying, hey there, everyone. How's it going? I think he looks really good. Liquid Identity jumping here. Ninja Force Zartan with Marvel Legends Muse legs. You could do that. I have to look at it. Okay. This looks good. Better than I had thought. The more pictures that I had actually seen of the guy that got it is not, it looks good. And no, it wasn't Travis Moody. For some odd reason, Travis wants to say fucking stupid things trying to be funny. And he tried saying that like it was his picture. And then he was like, after he like duped people into asking. And then he's like, no, I'm just kidding. Like, just stop. Just dude, just fucking stop. But here you go. Here he is, the moon. Baldy said this confirms we're getting a classified moon. We're not. But we've also done the Ninja Zartan. Again, it does go up tomorrow. Limited amounts on Pulse. It will be available on Target, so look for it there. If you use a credit card, when you use a credit card to pre-order it on Target, they will ping you. If you have a Target Red card, they will not ping you. So if you have the ability to use the Target credit card or like your Red card, and if it's connected to your debit card, just make sure you have the money when it goes up. It will tell you what date it will be released because Target is a stickler for their street dates. All right. So there you go. There is Ninja Zartan. And the one thing that I think is really cool is you have the drawn bow, and then you have it when it's not being drawn. This is what they need to do if they're not going to be able to put a rubber band on it. All right. Overkill. Tomorrow, the 17th, I will do my best to put the links up to Amazon and Entertainment Earth. If you ask, why do you only do Amazon and Entertainment Earth? It is because I have affiliate links with them. You know where to find it on BBTS and on Hasbro Pulse, but I put it on that so it can hopefully help you out and then helps the channel out. But here is Overkill. This is from Toy Fair. You can see that his chest does open and a gun drops down. You can also see that his accessories can be swapped out, so he has a knife and different things like that, or a blade. His mask does come off, so you can actually see his face. Remember, he is not an army builder, so don't order 7 of them if you're an army builder, unless you want to army build him and say, hey, he's just Bat version 4, whatever you want to call him, right? But this is supposed to be the Bat leader. And I already see people, like Tripper is saying, pass, this looks terrible, but it looks like what he's supposed to look like. And again, it's not for everyone. This is, they're getting to a time where the G.I. Joe line started to change, and it's their job, in my opinion, the classified team, to update it so it all works together. And they actually toned down some of the stuff. I'm not a huge fan of it. You can see that it is a snake formed on his chest. But I think with the mask on, he looks much, much better. All right. There is in his box. There's the back of the box with his. They should have just given them Roadblock's original tuner fork weapon. Cobra Commander says this is the problem with being a completist, is you end up buying a lot of crap you don't like. So this is what I'm going to say. I would normally agree with you, but they've done such a good job. They've done such a good job of taking figures that I thought were going to be awful or that I didn't like and making them really good. So I am with you and understand it, but for the most part, they have done a great, great job of updating it. I'm not a huge fan of the way Overkill looks, but it is what it is. Okay, so here we have the Hydra Viper. He does get his Manta. All the stuff that we thought about, I wanted to say Deep Six, not Deep Six wetsuit, and his flippers being the flippers for him, we were wrong. This guy is just all his accessories is all new tooling, everything from what I can tell here. They did give him a mask so you can swap it out here. The one thing, and I think we all talked about it, is he should have had a separate hand. So not just a webbed hand. He can't hold all of his weapons. He can hold all his weapons on his person, but unfortunately, he can't hold them all. And that one hand, it would have been nice if they just give him 2 webbed hands and then, 2 trigger finger hands that they could have done. So there's our box. There's the back of it. Doesn't look like there's any Easter eggs, but we won't know until we really get a better shot of them. Airtight. I've heard the complaint. He looks exactly like Airtight. I've even heard someone complain that they completely ruined this line. This looks just like Airtight, but then doesn't look enough like Airtight because they gave him knee pads. Once again, are you fucking kidding me? This looks like Airtight. If you wanted an Airtight, there you go. The backpack, from what I can remember, what mine looks like, is very similar to it. He's a yellow character that is there to remove contaminants or put contaminants, I guess, in the air if you wanted to. But he's supposed to remove contaminants. Again, he is what he is. He does look very similar to the face sculpt, the portrait of what we had in the cartoon, which I'm not a huge fan of the cartoon, but I think it looks good. If you want an Airtight, I think it looks pretty good. And I am trying to read through this. Love the Widow's Peak. I know Chris from the Full Force, he mentioned that he was really happy with them doing that, and he told Lenny that. Whew. And then here is Shark Eyes Don Moreno, the figure that is making Joe fans cry. That's not my Snake Eyes. I really fucked it up because I must have enlarged it too much onto the white. It wasn't supposed to be like that. You're supposed to be able to fucking read it, but I fucked that up. The amount of fucking crybabies. The amount of fucking crybabies. And not that I'm shocked. Not that I'm shocked that some G.I. Joe collectors are fucking crying about it. But this was a character that was made. I don't remember the full story, but Snake Eyes' mind is like put into this character. Who the fuck cares? They created a new character. They didn't change the sex of Snake Eyes to appease people. It was something completely different. She is a character that is added to the line. And if you don't like it, then don't fucking buy it. But if you really want to show me how fucking sexist you are, please keep fucking talking, because I can see it. We all can see it. All right. And I'm sorry, but it is what it is. A lot of people have been waiting for this character for a very long time, and I think they did a really good job with it. So I've already seen people say, I'm going to buy it to Kit Bash. You know, this is the perfect swords that I can use for this snake. My God, dude, this is it. It's just crazy. Now, I don't think they should have put the name Snake Eyes on it, but I understand. But they also tell you that it is Don Moreno. You know, it's Don Moreno. They're not trying to tell you that it's a different Snake Eyes. And this is why when people said, hey, I really wish with Dial Tone they would have went with the female version or the Doc, I was like, yeah, that would have went over really fucking well. No, Billy, I don't either. Again, it's another character. It is not a replacement character. Okay. The reason why people got upset with the Snake Eyes movie and with making him Asian is it took away from who he was. The whole point that Snake Eyes was a white male that was brought in and indoctrinated into the Japanese culture that made the character. This is a completely different fucking character. And again, if you don't want it, then don't buy it. But when people fucking go off, like, it's that whole thing, like, they tell me you're racist without telling me you're racist, right? But yeah, so that's it. And again, you don't have to buy it. You don't, but it is funny. She's the Miles Morales of the Joe universe. That's probably a really good way to put it. They created a different character that is also a version of Snake Eyes. That is actually probably a really good analogy there. All right. And then here she is. Here's her box. She already went up. Again, I will put links to her tomorrow when everything goes up, if you want to buy it. And I love the fact that people don't want to buy this, because this is what makes the figure go up in value. Later on in life, when they go on clearance, no one buys it and you're stuck. Okay. Sundown. Not the Mountain Heart like stupid punk told us. Okay. So I was told by multiple people, because I didn't just, again, I am not a breaking news channel. That's why you don't see me do 3-minute news bursts to tell everyone. But it was told to me that this was Mountain Heart. I went and confirmed it with people that I know have inside information, and they said, yep, the name is Mountain Heart. Clearly there was a swerve, probably to see if it was going to be leaked. They want to check on that stuff. So they just duped everyone. I said it earlier. I don't delete my comments. I won't hide from it. I made a mistake. This is a new character. And here's the whole thing. All these new figures, they have file cards now, digital file cards. Lenny posted them on Instagram. I think they're on the G.I. Joe Instagram. So you can actually read their file cards, and you have an actual character breakdown of who these guys are. So basically, Sundown here is from Mexico. His brother has been captured by Headman. So get ready They didn't confirm Headman, but by telling you that his brother was captured and he's on the hunt for Headman, tells you there's another character that will be coming. So this is a completely brand new character that was created by the Classified team, created by Lenny. Carries the 6 shooters. He's got the specific hat, his little tomahawk. I like it. I know people are mad about this. So I have seen the Cops and Crooks character. It is a different name. So, his actual name is different. I've seen that. But it is hard to say that you don't see the stylistic cues from that sundown, from Cops and Crooks, which they do own the rights to that character. So, but I like it. I like the fact I want to see new characters. I want this line to continue. I don't want to live off the 80s and the early 90s like they've been doing. I love that stuff, but I want new stuff. And this is how you're supposed to do it. Sci-Fi George jumping in and say, "Hey, Lawrence, how's it going? I want Xenia, a squad of Sea Vipers, Miles Morales, Snake Eyes, and a Rot Claw." Liquid Item says, "At best, this is side character material in a comic 3-parter, completely and utterly forgettable. Lenny's lore sucks, by the way." Okay, well, I guess that's your opinion. You get very angry about things. And look what I just said. I want to see new military inspired characters, not cowboys and Indians. Sorry, Spirit. Okay, but all right. So this is where there's an argument. Have you looked at the G.I. Joe line? Like, seriously, it stopped being military after in series 2. Like, it stopped being military after the OG-13. But again, I'm not telling people to like it. This is what bothers me. I hate when people dislike something just because it's not what they had. They're not, and I'm not saying this is you, but I'm saying I watch so many people, I've listened to so many people, they instantly dislike it because it's not what they had in the 80s. Shut the fuck up. It's not the 80s anymore. Stop living in the past with everything. And again, this goes to certain people. I'm not saying it goes towards you, although if that's what you like, then I guess it is towards you. All right, the Deluxe Cobra La Royal Guard. This is a main line, February 17th, $42.99. Look what I said. Joe still had military specialties. Cobra would eat this dude. Okay. You're right. They still did have military specialties. Not all of them. Quick kick. Seriously. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, not every character has to be military inspired. And again, when you look at what G.I. Joe is, that's what they are. Anyway, I don't know, because I've been here for 3 hours and 14 minutes. All right, $42.99, less expensive than what people were thinking. Still pricey because this is the new deluxe price. You guys know my feelings on Cobra La. I did not like Cobra La. I wish they never would have made it. I think I'm even more mad that they make it look so good. Cressio Crow says, "Turn and walk 10 paces, wait for my command." They have made Cobra La look awesome. I cannot believe I'm saying that. But they did. This looks awesome. You got to have at least 2 of them. If you're just buying one and that's it, okay. But if you are doing stuff that I do, pictures, displays, you need at least 2 of these. and they really do look good. With the heads, you almost want to go with you almost want to go with 3, but that is pretty damn pricey. And I think this is pretty cool. He's playing golf, so he does have his golf club. And I apologize for anyone I yelled at. But again, like, you can only read what people say so much and be like, oh, for the love of God, anytime they try and do something, there's going to be kickback on it because it's not what I had in the 80s. Awesome. Awesome. But this Royal Guard looks, I mean, it does look good. Here's everything that you get with it. So, 4 different head sculpts. You get the pistol because it came with the pistol. You did get his classic weapon. What looks like a cloth cape. You get wings. All kinds of shit. So, but yeah. Allison Troy says some of y'all had parents and hair in the 80s. Not everything comes back. Wow. I didn't even make it through the 80s with my mom. That's a matter of fact. Thanks a lot for bringing this up. Today is the anniversary of my mom's death. Thanks a lot, Allison. Made me feel like shit. And no, it truly is the anniversary of my mom's death now, February 17th. All right. So anyway, here is the I guess buying a whole bunch of G.I. Joe figures will make me feel better about losing my mom 30 some years ago. All right. There you go. All right. Zanya and Dreadnought Chameleon, Amazon and Fan Channel, May of 2026, $59.99. This is the new price point for the smaller vehicles. Now, Lenny did say on the Full Force podcast and maybe on one of the other ones, this is meant to be to fit an actual figure. That is why it looks so big on her. So it's meant to fit the male figures too. That's why it looks big on her. But yeah, Shelf Preston's, damn, we went all super dark. No, it's not. It's just, it's just how it's been. I was 13. I'm 50 now. It's just what it is. So I've learned to deal with it. Hey, thank you for the condolences and sorry again. It's been a long ass time. So, but I do appreciate I do appreciate the thoughts and prayers. But anyway, here she is. This is Zartan's daughter. She was written in the IDW continuity. She has the Dreadnought logo, as we can see. I'm sure someone will say, not my Zartan. My Zartan didn't have sex. He couldn't have a kid. But it's there. It's there. This is not true. Probably for about 34 years. The first year, I did not laugh it off. Look in the background where you can see one of them getting knocked off of one of the swamp skiers. Now I mentioned before, like I don't think you should make weapons smaller for female figures because they're smaller, but I do think you should give them smaller weapons. But it was brought up, and I kind of agree. Like I could see why she would be using like a big shotgun and have like a big hand cannon. And that's because she needs to show how impressive she is to the other Dreadnoughts and shit. Look what I done is, why is she Tank Girl? That's again, if you, and I don't know how much you know, if you go and look at it, that is exactly what she looks like in the comic. And maybe it wasn't IDW, maybe it was Image, I forget. Matthew will be the one that yells at me. I think it was IDW. This is the exact outfit that she's wearing. Now they do give her the tanker helmet, just to be something different. And basically they want to give you So when you buy multiple of these, because they know people are going to, for all the Dreadnoks, you can try and do something different. The problem is you can't really make her an army builder because her outfit is very, very fucking unique. So anyway, so Heli Geek says, I want to know who's R10 knocked up and was he in disguise at the time? She is in the comic. I believe it was someone from Chicago. So it is in the comic. All right. Sergeant Slaughter's Renegades, Red Dog, and Taurus, $59.99. No date yet. Now, once again, my complaint, you own the property of G.I. Joe. When you give me a 2-pack, it should cost less than 2 figures, not more. Yet, the fucking Hasbro G.I. Joe plan is, okay, if our regular figures are $28, then a 2-pack should be that plus $4 or whatever it is. This here should be a $55 price point or maybe even $50 because you're buying two. I go to Costco, I go to Sam's Club because I buy in bulk. I get shit cheaper. Not Hasbro and only the G.I. Joe property. Anyway, here's the back of them. You can see all the stuff that they get. They have a lot of accessories, a lot of new accessories. Lenny did say that the whole point of is it Taurus? Taurus. He's an acrobat. That's why he is smaller than Red Dog. But again, Red Dog was a kicker. So he should have been actually smaller. You ever see kickers? They ain't that fucking big. But anyway, they gave him the football. They gave him an actual football hand. Again, he was a kicker, so he doesn't throw the football. But hey, that's what it is. But yeah, so if you want the whole Renegades, there you go. You can pick it up. So yeah. And Matthew says, okay, $25 figures. Well, they're 28 now. But again, when you buy 2 packs, it should be a little bit cheaper. Marvel Legends 2 packs are, $55.99 and they're $28. So you're actually paying less. Brick says these were some of my favorite as a kid, especially Red Dog, but Taurus was my Carniv stand-in figure. But yeah, $60 for a 2-pack. Flag on the play. All right. But here they are. And again, they work because if you want the Slaughters, Renegades, there you go. And now I do find it odd that they do call this, they specifically said Sergeant Slaughter's Renegades, but they're the Mad Marauders, not Slaughter's Marauders. All right, so this is one that I hadn't heard anything about. The Night Creeper Dire Tech. This is March Walmart Collector Con, $27.99. People were losing their shit over this. I like that they are giving you something for your display. They didn't just drop the one Dire Tech Viper to go with Crystal Ball. They're saying, hey, you're going to see a whole bunch of characters, and I think that's actually pretty cool. My gripe is, and we were talking about this in chat, this head sculpt should have been specifically only for Crystal Ball. It should have been something unique to what he creates. Now, I don't have to use it on this character. You can use something different, but they should have just given a regular green in the actual Night Creeper mask or head that he has. This should have been left, again, special for Crystal Ball. And I think most people would agree with that. I probably won't keep that at all. Dan Olton says, this looks like Hasbro is charging you money for a kit bash. Well, again, they're just giving you one thing. It's not really a kit bash. They're giving you a translucent part. They're creating a new character under new technology. This is what they've always done. And this is no different than what Mattel does with He-Man and Skeletor. Just remember that. Like, every company does this. Every company does this. For some odd reason, we tend to basically attack Hasbro about it, but they all do it. But anyway, I like this. I like the idea of it. That's basically what I'm saying. I like the idea of what they're doing with this whole Dire tech and keeping it going. So there he is. Again, this is a Walmart exclusive. So I would say get it if you want it. I wouldn't gamble on getting a Walmart exclusive because you really don't know when and if you'll actually get it. Damn it, stop drinking your cola without muting the mic. It's gross. I'm not drinking cola. I'm not really sure what's gross about. What is wrong with that? I just drink it through a straw. And I don't have any cola, so I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing wrong that I haven't done numerous times. All right. Professor Rotclaw and Cobra Dion, the Raptor. July 2026, $51.99. This is again one that was told to me that harness was for a dinosaur. I really didn't know what to think. Lenny talked about it with Chris McLeod of the Full Force, and he said why wouldn't they do it? Okay, so Matthew says your mic picks up also the swallowing sound. You just don't usually do it right up to the mic. Okay. Sure. Yeah, listen, you guys can break it down any way you want. I don't have enough time to figure it out while being live and being the only one here. I think this is actually really cool. Explaining that they would do something like this, I think it's fun. This is something that Cobra would be kind of creating. They create a small little raptor. Imagine getting a couple of these and having them chase after a vamp. Unless if you don't have a vamp, then I guess you can't do that. But imagine having a couple of these and you're doing a shot where you have 3 raptors chasing after a vamp. Now they do reuse the whip from what's his face, Crocmaster. Now they try and say it's like a 2-in-1 pack because he's the leader of them, and then they give you like the army builders, so you can buy multiple ones and just pop on these different heads, and then you have an army builder of raptor guys, which I think is actually pretty fucking cool. Matthew says you need 3 raptors to chase the camp with the mirror. And he meant the vamp. Okay, the vamp with the mirror. Okay. I like this. This is fun. I just realized that is also Crocmaster's pistol that he has too. So I think this is just actually, again, this is something they design. Now, I did see someone actually post the Leonard Dino Rider. I don't know if it's called the Dino Rider. And he's riding a Triceratops. And if you looked at that and said, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, it doesn't look like they took any cues, you'd be lying to yourself. That Dino Rider, and I saw it after I did the slides. I actually saw it later on today. I forget who posted it. he has like a mohawk. The chest protector looks very similar. And there's a little nard too. There's a lot of cues. It's hard to say that Lenny didn't go ahead and look at that and say, hey, you know what? Some of these we're definitely going to we're taking some cues from him. Oh, and here is the Kanan here. Rumbles into the stream at the right time. What do you mean? I've been going for 3.5 fucking hours. But I think this is fun. I mean, this is really, again, this is what G.I. Joe became this. And I was done. I was gone with G.I. Joe. I was done with G.I. Joe. I'm riding my skateboard. What I absolutely love here is that when I look at these, they look modern in a detail of something that I actually enjoy. Super Devin says, I think he looks cool because he is unique, but still in the traditional Cobra colors. I like the Rhino pistol. Okay. That's what G.I. Joe McCree should be rocking. Yeah, the pistol, again, like I said, that goes to Crockmaster. But yeah, this is fun. There's a story to it. It makes sense. How many times can they redo the dinosaur? Remember, they haven't redone Fiona yet, which is kind of shocking. But I'll be excited to see where this thing goes. He doesn't get a lot though. He gets a different head. He gets the whip. You get the dinosaur helmet. They don't show you the harness off it, and then you get the pistol. So, but I will be. I think at least 2 of these. 3, I don't know. Again, that price starts to add up tremendously when you look at all the army building that is, that we're getting here. It doesn't really look like Chris Pratt. But this guy can make a Chris Pratt for you. I'm sure he could customize one. And if he can't, and there's a few other guys that probably can. All right. And this was the one that really shocked a lot of people. Action Soldier Special Forces Legacy figure, May 2026, $42.99. And they raised up the fucking price again of these legacy figures because they were $35. Then they went to $40. Now they're $43. Whatever. Yes, that's it. Pop Leonard says this shit is weird. Everyone is going to get it just for the dinosaur and not the handler. I think people are more interested in the dinosaur because they don't have a dinosaur and it fits the scale of classified because it's a smaller raptor. But I think the handler looks pretty good. Again, like it was mentioned earlier, he fits the Cobra aesthetic and what Cobra might be doing. Look at this, Frank Dumania jumping in here. Punk with Toys and Ramblers. A long ass show. All right, this I think really shocked a lot of people. No one saw this coming. I didn't hear anything about this. Am I kind of over the FAMAS? I do like the FAMAS. I think it works with some of them, but I'm kind of over it. I do like using Leathernecks M4 203. But it's nice to get another soldier in here. Just a regular basic one. I know guys like Beast Battleground were like super excited for this. There are other companies that are also doing just basic military figures. But once again, the smaller independent companies, some people don't want to purchase them. Some people don't even know who they are. They just want to buy stuff from Hasbro because they feel Hasbro is number one and it says G.I. Joe on it. This is, again, 2 for me. Two for me, for sure. I've heard people now start complaining that the Soldier has jumped up tremendously in price, which nobody wanted, if you remember. That guy sat around for quite some time. Nobody really wanted him. But they give you a lot of cool stuff here. And obviously we have a new rocket launcher, which I don't think the US soldiers use rocket launchers like that. I could be wrong. Anyone that's in the military, I don't think they use rocket launchers. I believe those are mostly foreign troops that use them. But Shooting the Galaxy, some really nice photography here. It does look like we have a different plate carrier. I don't believe that's the same plate carrier that that came. Is this a new plate carrier? Maybe it is. Maybe that's Doc's plate carrier, but they pinned the computer on it. The rocket launcher is new. FAMAS 203 is all reused. Same with the beret and the mask. The painted faces are really cool. Tony's saying yes, it's new. Awesome. I like this. And again, if you are into all this stuff, then I think people will really like it. Yeah, and the reason why the scissors, well, it's what the medics use. And the reason why it gets confusing is because I know Operation Monster Force, they have specific plate carriers that have the scissors on it. Again, this is one of those ones. I'm really, really excited about this. Okay, so Devil Dog says we used it. Hold on. Devil Dog says we use the M72 Law rocket launcher, the AT4 rocket, and the SMAW multi-shot rocket. But you don't use. Do you use that type? I know the Law only because that's basically what came with Footloose, correct? But yeah. Again, I like this. This is fun. Again, they're taking away, so maybe you're just military. You don't want a G.I. Joe, like a named G.I. Joe character. This is what this is what you have. So all right. And then some stuff that came up here. So here is the vehicle 2-pack. Okay. This is the Snake Eyes and then the 4-wheeler is called the Vermin. Now, this is, according to Lenia, 2-pack vehicles and figures. Snake Eyes is based after a misprinted sticker with green pants. He talked about this on the Full Force. The G.I. Joe Vermin is a play on words of the Cobra Ferret. The ferret is not technically part of the Vermin, but a lot of people believe that it was. He literally said, hey, ferret, vermin, that's where he came up with it. I literally said it on the Full Force podcast and an interview with at Toy Fair. So a lot of people thought this was Renegades. He even addressed it and said, hey, a lot of people said this was Renegades. No, this was based after a misprinted sticker where he had green pants. This is Commando Snake Eyes, the first one that they did. So he does have pin joints. I know there's a lot of people that are very upset about that and they don't like it. I don't have a problem if they're reusing bucks that have pin joints. I don't want new figures, new bucks going forward that have pin joints, and I don't think they're doing that. Pop Blender says, wow, I'm not gonna lie, I like this, even though I'm tired of Snake Eyes. I do like this for some weird reason. It looks good. I mean, he's just a green Snake Eyes. Again, people can be tired of having Snake Eyes, and I do understand that. There is Snake Eyes fatigue, but it's like Wolverine. And again, the people that think that Snake Eyes was always in all black, yeah, you may want to go through the lore a little bit more, and look at that. Heli Geek says, this is a pass for me. I don't collect verse packs except for the divers because I wanted both. Yeah, no, and I fully get this. I fully get these. Todd C says he hates those legs. I was trying to remember if he has the boot. I don't mind the legs. I don't remember if he has the boots with the shin guards, which that really causes a problem. Okay, so they didn't give the price, but my guess is going to be $120 because the new price point of vehicle with a figure is $60. So I think you're looking at 120. Hasbro math, probably 130. All right, so this is the Stealth Viper and 788 Stealth Trouble Bubble credit for the full force. Once again, Lenny talked about how they wanted to give you like a Stealth Viper. If you look on the back, it does say 788. He said they looked back at the 80s and what they thought of Stealth, where it had like the red covers and everything. That's the reason why you see the red, which I think looks good. I like that idea. But this is meant to go with your Fire 788 team, your Hiss, different things like that. And it does look good. And on the back here, you will see 788. So this is, again, doing a 2-pack, you know, I understand why you do a 2-pack. Like Marvel Legends, they do a 2-pack because they're like, hey, we want people to buy this. I get it. We want people to buy this. I get it. But there comes a problem that's like, how expensive is this? I think more people would buy multiple versions of this Trouble Bubble than the Vermin, which is this. And then you're asking them to buy 2. Well, I think that's where, you know, you start going, all right, this is a little bit too much. And here are the accessories. So they do give you the Steel Brigade head. These are the weapons that came with that Snake Eyes, so they are definitely reusing that mold. There's the Trouble Bubble Air Mine, and then we still get the Cobra Commander World Domination hands and everything. And that's it. That is everything. 3 hours and 42 minutes. This is what happens when you talk so much at the beginning. It kept going on. Zakanan says, I would buy 3 of those Trouble Bubbles if they were solo. And I think that's where the problem's going to be. I like the Ferret. Or the Vermin, whatever. I don't care which one it is. I like the 4-wheelers. But they do start to become a space eater, like anything. Look what I didn't say. So 100% reuse, repaint. Yeah, that price point is hard to swallow because of that. Yeah, again, I think what people want, hey, if they're reusing the buck, they should bring the price point down. The problem is I can't go into fucking Chrysler and buy a Dodge and be like, wait a minute, this radio is reused over there, so this should cost me less. It just doesn't work like that. That is where, again, this is where I'm fine with that. As long as that money is being put back into the property to create new characters. You cannot say that they have not given us new characters along with a bunch of new accessories, new molds, and new bucks. That is where I say, hey, as long as that's what they're doing, I'm okay with it. The idea of, hey, they're reusing this, it should go down in price. Again, walk into a car dealership and say, dude, really? Look at the fucking interior of this, along with the radio, the steering. It's all the same. This engine is the same. Why are you charging me the same? You already have the mold. They're going to fucking tell you to leave. That's all that I'm saying. That's all that I'm saying. Again, you have to put it with the toys. It's the same thing. Hasbro is about making money. And Pop Leonard says, you guys know so much about plastics. You guys know so much about plastics than I do. Okay, he meant you guys know so much more about plastics than I do. I know what I like, but I'm ignorant in the ways of the production of the figures. I know what I like, even if I can't explain it. Well, I am a plastic expert. Bobby Valla made sure to let everyone know that myself and Bees Battleground are plastic experts, so I can take credit in being a plastic expert. Just Jeff said, you people are still awake. I got a lot of G.I. Joe stuff to get through. But I think that just wraps it up. This is what I do want to show you. Last week, when I told you that I knew what figure was being shown off, and I said I wrote it down, and I said I also have the name. Just so you guys know, I wrote it down, Don Moreno, and then I wrote also Mountain Heart. So unlike other people that will, again, I was wrong, but I wrote it down. Clearly, if I was going to lie about it, I would have fucking said, I would have changed it. But yeah, the Don Moreno, I was told like the week before. But yeah, I think there was a lot of good reveals. When it comes to the Trouble Bubble and that vermin or ferret, whatever you want to call it, with snake eyes, that is all reuse. It definitely has to do with, and again, hey, what can we do that fits into the budget for this year? What can we do to help increase our budget? And I know what people want to say to me is, oh, you're just a shill, whatever. I'm just trying to explain to you how corporations look at things. You don't have to agree with it, but there is a reason why corporations are the ones that run the world. It's just unfortunately how it is. And if you don't like it, then I guess you don't have to get it. Super Devin says, I thought we were going to get a Retro Flash and Grand Slam. I was told by somebody that there is at least one more retro carded OG figure coming this year. I don't know who it is. My guess would be Flash because we already have his accessories and you already have the buck. So all you need is the catcher's outfit and the face sculpt, and you pretty much have a Flash already. So I was told by somebody that we are getting a retro carded. I have no confirmation on it. But this person has told me a couple other things, and I have confirmed it with some other people that I know. And it's one of those things where we will get the OG 13. Like, there's no way they're finishing this line, without giving it to it. They're just taking their time, and I'm not going anywhere. Like, I collect toys, and I enjoy it. So, but anyway, thank you guys all for tuning in. Please hit the like button if you haven't. It's been a long ass show. And I really thought I was going to be able to get it done in about 3 hours. Boy, was I wrong. Go figure. But I'm going to get out of here. Tune in tomorrow. Circle of Jerks, 6:30 p.m. I don't know what Baldy has planned for us. He always has something new. I know we will once again be talking about Toy Fair, as there is so much stuff to talk about. But that is really a show that if you want to hear nonsense, people going at it with each other, that's where we have a lot of fun. So anyway, tune in tomorrow. Also right after that, well, not right after that, but shortly after that, Pop Blender and Matthew Matson, my moderator, they do a show together over on Pop's channel. So have a wonderful night, and I will see you guys all tomorrow on Circle the Jerks over at Baldy Locks Reviews.